Madness Podcast, the best of the underground. Make madness your ritual.
7:30 on these nuts on a Friday night. What's up? Hey, how's it going, everybody? You're listening to Ritual Madness Podcast, hanging out here in the Twin Cities. It's starting to get nice out, and tomorrow I'm going to go for a motorcycle ride. I am fucking stoked. I can't wait. We got a big cancer run, benefit run coming up here in June. June 19th on a Saturday. It's going to be fantastic, and we're going to do some flyering for it tomorrow. Hit the Dusty Trail here in the Twin Cities, and then shoot over to Wisconsin, our bordering state, and enjoy some of God's land. That's right, I said it, God's land. I don't know who he is or how he built that land, but it's beautiful, and I love to ride on it and look at all the big, heavy women. Cows in the field, and it's going to be fun. I cannot wait. Do me a favor. Check out Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated, custom screen printing here in the Twin Cities, antibroadcasting@gmail.com or 612-836-9488. Some good folks. They do some fantastic work. Good turnaround. They've been doing a lot of stuff for my work, my day job. I work for a carpentry company, and these guys have provided us with some really cool shit, some high-vis stuff. So if your businesses are looking for some screen printing to get done, get some logos, get all that stuff, antibroadcasting@gmail.com. Hit them up for a quote, 612-836-9488. That's 612-836-9488. If you're looking to get some tattoo work, go to Rhode Island and see Danny. No, I'm just kidding. Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective here in the Twin Cities. Over in Minneapolis, 612-353-4755. That's 612-353-4755. Some good folks. And I wish I had Jason, the owner of this shop, on a three-way with us right now, because it would be like all three of us look very similar. We're big fellas, you know what I mean? Big brown juicy fellas. Hit them up, lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Tell Jason I sent you. He'll probably charge you more. But good motherfucker, and he'll take care of you. My guest tonight is Dan Mendez. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Dan and I are both in the NYDM. It's a metal club. A lot of people, you get mixed up with the whole club thing. You wear a vest. People automatically, assume that you're a part of a motorcycle club or something like that. The NYDM is a metal club, not specifically death metal, but a lot of death metal folks are involved. Black metal. It's really across the board with music. We promote music. We support bands. We try to get help out the bands. We do a lot of stuff with the club members as well. We do there you go, NYDM for life, baby. And we do usually every year we do a annual get together. In 2012, some of the folks in Dan's area actually came out to the Twin Cities, and that's how I heard about Dan. They were like, "Oh my God, you're just like Dan! He's fucking hilarious!" and then we met a couple years ago at there's Rhiannon. Hi, Rhiannon. How's it going? Rich, what's happening? Welcome, Oz. Yeah. See, we got folks here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate it. We see you. So we got to meet in person. We had a cigar. We talked. We got to hang out. You guys came for a day and then split right away, right?
I believe
in Jersey.
If it was Jersey, no, actually we stood there all 3 days.
Hey, Aaron, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we got those guys, and I think you and I talked more online after we met.
Yes.
Like we started talking quite a bit in sending each other booty pictures. Not of each other's booties, but
it was our booties, their booties, chick booties, whatever. It's just booty, bro. Booty's fucking awesome.
Yep. Booties everywhere. It was fantastic.
So it was fucking great, man.
So Dan's a tattoo artist in Rhode Island. What was the name of your shop, man? Because I always Rising Phoenix, right?
No,
I'm
the
sorry.
shop is called Phoenix Tattoo and Wellness Center in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Okay, there we go. See, now you set the record straight. I now you know what you're talking about. You worked there. How long you been tattooing?
I've been tattooing. To be correct, I've apprenticed for 3 years. And let it be known, Rhiannon Spaziano is my. She's the one who taught me. I was taught by a female. I was taught by my sister. Um, I was apprentice for 3 years, and now I've been licensed for 12.
So now,
So I've been tattooing for 12
in
years.
your area, is it? Do you guys have a time limit, or do you have to get so many hours, clocked in to be able to become a full tattoo artist there?
Certain tattoo shops do recommend that, whether it's be time or payment. Obviously, basically renting a chair or paying for your apprenticeship. But for me, it was about timing. It was like, dude, you got to put the time in. You have to earn it. Again, I was tattooed by Rhiannon Spaziano. She's been tattooing for over 25 years. She's the 80th tattooer of Rhode Island.
Oh, nice.
So she's one of the OG females in Rhode Island when it comes to tattooing. So I learned from her. So she taught me as old school as anybody else. So I mean, I came into this thing obviously just fucking doe-eyed. I was like, oh my gosh, tattooing, hi, because I love tattoos, obviously, and it was something that people used to always tell me, Dan, you should you should do tattoos, because they saw some of my my artwork, and art was like my fourth fucking talent. And I was like, yeah, I do that when I'm bored. I'm trying to stay off the streets and not getting shot at or doing stupid things. And it fell on my lap. And Rhiannon was like, if you're willing to do this, she's like, I'll teach you. And I was like, oh shit. And she taught me, and I put the time in. But the shop that we were working at the time, I'm not gonna say any fucking names. It's not because it doesn't fucking matter. But
you've moved on. You've moved on. You've got your own spot now. You moved on.
Absolutely, yeah.
No disrespect. It's always, you know what I mean. You move on. You become a better tattoo artist, and I'm glad that you guys stayed together and got a spot together. You know what I mean? Like that's always awesome when the person that teaches you that craft and you move into a spot with them, and I mean, you guys were obviously friends to begin with, anyway. So.
Oh, right. I mean, right from the beginning, from the Pennsylvania annual back in, what was it, 2006, 2007, we met, and we just hit it off. Like, it was me, Rhiannon, Chrissy, Elena, and a couple other ones, and we just clicked. And I actually helped her move from Tennessee back to Rhode Island. So I went on the road trip with her. She's like, she didn't want to go alone. But I asked him, like, hey, if you want somebody to go with you, I'll help out,
Yeah.
So I did that, and then she wanted to tattoo me. So I went up to Rhode Island. She did my basically my whole sleeve. And then Jeff from Godless Rising, he needed a drummer. So I started sessioning for Godless Rising. And when I was in sessioning or practicing in his basement, I would go hang out with Rhiannon at the tattoo shop. So it was just like, just hanging out type of deal. But then even the guys at the tattoo shop, they were like, dude, you could draw. Why don't you, become a tattooer? Again, that question was asked to them. Like, why don't I do this? And I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm all about.
All right, let's not get too far ahead, because I want to like dig in a little bit on this stuff. I want to say there's a lot of people saying hello. Aaron Linneman says, yo. Shannon Keith says, so love seeing your faces. Starvin Marvin says, how the fuck you figure? That's my boy Greg, and that was a crazy joke that he had a guy at his work who read his drum pedal all together instead of like separating it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what it says. He goes, no, it doesn't. This is what it says. He goes, how the fuck you figure? That was like his thing. So we would say that all the time. Let me see here. James Barrington says, hello, Danny. Rhiannon gives us a smiley face. Maria Delamita, says, hi, Danny. James Barrington says, let's hear it for stupid things. Oz says,
That's Rhiannon's husband.
Oz says it was 2008, and Erica Smith says, miss you, Danny.
Oh, I love Erica. I worked with her at the second shop that I worked at. She's a great person.
Okay,
great
so let's back up a little bit. So now, as a kid, like how much were you drawn?
No, it was one of those talents where it's like, I live in the ghetto. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Okay. So anybody who knows Newark, New Jersey, it's very, and from Newark, New Jersey, it was a lot of, gang violence, stolen cars, shootouts, shit like that. So after I was done playing sports and the night lights came on, the street lights came on, got my ass in the house, and there was nothing to do. So it was usually every Friday and Saturday night. And I would sit there literally like a fucking geek. I would put Nova on or fucking National Geographic on PBS, and I would just draw whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. I was just drawing.
Now, just
drawing.
from sight, so you would see something cool and you just start drawing it, or would you?
No, not even. It was more like those programs were in the background.
Okay.
And I would have my notebook and a pencil, and I would just draw whatever just came through me.
Sure.
And I just draw.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I wasn't literally focusing on anything like, all right, I see a portrait. Oh, I'm going to draw this portrait.
Right,
no,
right,
it was
right.
just like, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to draw. and that was it.
So
that
like
was my talent.
Band
Like,
logos and fucking everything else, like.
it was whatever. Cars.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Action figures, comic book heroes.
Yeah.
Basically shit like that.
So you said it was your fourth thing you were good at. What?
Like, yeah, it was like that hidden talent that was there in the back there.
So what was the other three? What are the other
playing
three?
sports.
Yeah.
Playing sports. I'm a complete fucking jock. Football, baseball, ice hockey, roller hockey, strongman, bodybuilding, powerlifting. I mean, you name it. That was my thing.
You were a sporty spice.
Oh, dude, it was 24/7, man. Yeah, dude, I did not fuck around.
Yeah, I could see
Anything
you
that
jumping around
involved
with sporty
contact,
spice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you were smashing
yeah.
some shit, huh?
I suffered 5 major concussions, dude.
So are you big into sports now? Do you follow a lot of sports still?
The only thing I follow right now is just ice hockey, the Rangers. I'm a Rangers fan, so I stick to the Rangers and the Bruins.
Nice.
And then strongman and some of the IFBB Olympia stuff, and that's about it. And some CrossFit.
Okay. Now after sports, what you've got 2 more things before we hit that fourth one, the drawing one.
I would say the second was definitely music, and that was something that came on a little bit later in life that I actually pursued. But like I was telling you earlier, that I used to always watch the drummers when I used to go to church with my parents, and I was like, oh, I want to fucking drum. I want to bang on shit and make noise.
Right.
You know, and it was always something that I had interest in since I was like about 5 years old.
Okay.
And I told you, it wasn't until I was like 21, 22 that I actually was like, fuck this. I'm buying a drum kit and I'm going to teach myself.
Right. So you bought your first drum kit on your own.
Yeah.
All right. So this is something that I ask a lot of all the guests that come on the show, musicians or otherwise. Always fascinates me as a musician and a lover of music. And my biggest influence as a kid was always my mother, but my mother was a huge R&B fan, and her brother, my Uncle Dale, was a rock and roll fan. So I got the best of both worlds. You know, it was like Beatles, Doors, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all this other shit. Then at home, Mom would be kicking Parliament and Bootsy and fucking Earth, Wind and Fire and, you know, Sly and the Family Stone. I mean, you name Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, all of this shit, right? So It was like I would get the best of both worlds. So I always ask this question: what were your folks? What were your parents? What were your brothers and sisters? What were you listening to as a kid? What was coming in? Because we get that creative juice flowing from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're either going to have creative folks in your family or down the line in your family, or you're going to have a musical, you know, spur, like something that's just sparks your creativity. What was that for you?
For me, it started off with my mom when I was a kid. She used to listen to a lot of 80s pop. So it was that. And then sometimes...
Give me some for instances. 80s pop.
Oh, dude, come on. Anything from Tears for Fears, Cyndi Lauper, Stand Out Blue, to dude, all the good pop shit, you know? Joan Jett. Oh my, anything that was from the 80s that was pop, she would have it on the radio, and then we would just listen to it in the car. And then I'm like, oh shit, you know, and I dug it. But then at home, she would listen to the 70s stuff, like 70s disco would come on here and there. She would listen to songs. She'd be like, and I'm like, what the fuck? What's this shit? And I'm like, all right, okay, Mom. But then it got even better because my father, he used to listen to a lot of 50s and 60s, like doo-wop and golden oldies and stuff like that. So I got so much into Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Bobby Darin, Sammy Davis Jr., stuff like that. And that's still to this day, that sticks to me because I love that area of music.
Yeah.
And then my sister, of course, New Kids on the Block, Tiffany, all that shit. The right step, the left step, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm cracking up because everybody's like saying some silly shit in here. Like, so far I'm aware, you're still banging on shit all the time. That's what from Erica Smith said that. Rich Montalongo says Danny on ice skates sounds terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Somebody said, Maria says, let's hear those vocals, Danny. And then Shannon says, Rick Astere? Rick Ashley. That's what she's trying to say there. Yes. Rick Ashley. Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna get around and hurt you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Never gonna give you up.
Yes. Fantastic. 80s dance parties at the shop, Erica says.
Eric, yeah, absolutely. When I worked with her, it was anything that went, and I would sing anything, and I would piss everybody off.
Yeah,
because I would know the lyrics to everything. And then with Rhiannon, now you want to talk about 80s, bro? Rhiannon is like an 80s buff. She knows what song came out when, what album, what year, but she knows everything 80s. She's nasty with it. We'll have like 80s day at the shop. She'll be playing something downstairs. I'll be playing stuff upstairs. And then I'll come downstairs. I'm like, ooh. And then we'll both get into the song. And then we start like thinking, oh shit. And we start getting into it. It's fucking awesome.
That's funny shit, man. That's funny shit. So you're just like me. You were all over the place musically.
Yeah, but then when I got into my early teens, it was all hip hop. It was all hip hop and club music.
What kind of hip hop were you? You were you were in the epicenter though, dude. You were like right next to where the shit was started at. You know what I mean?
Yep, I was right there in Newark, New Jersey, 20 minutes over the bridges, NYC. So I mean, I listened to everything from like Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Onyx. You know, I mean, you name it, I was listening to it.
Sure.
And I actually lived about 4 blocks away from Redman, believe it or not. And I used to see the guys from the Fugees, Lauryn Hill and Praz and Wyclef down in downtown Newark all the time. So it was a rich hip hop like area in Newark.
Yeah.
And it's like you saw them, you're like, oh shit, they're right there, cool, awesome, you know. And I used to play their shows, but I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan, so everything was just Wu-Tang.
Yep. Hell yeah. We love some Wu-Tang over here, man. I'll tell you what, that shit's good stuff.
But to tell you the truth, you know what really started me with music and that really stuck with me is when I was about 9 or 10 and I went to Puerto Rico and I was hanging out with my cousin. He was about, I think, like 8 years older than me. And he was like, dude, you got to check out this band. So he pops in a cassette and it was Poison. He puts, I forgot what song it was, and it's pissing me off. I always forget, but he plays that shit. He was so into it that I was like, I like this. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So that's when the metal started to creep in, and then by the time my teens, oh dude, it was just black metal. It was just like heavy metal, black metal, and the heavier the better.
Rhiannon said they ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh, it's right. Wu-Tang, baby.
Yep.
Wu-Tang every day, baby.
Woo ha.
Roll home and give it to you with no trivia. We're like cocaine straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation. I give you emancipation, proclamation with MCs. Just like that, baby. Oh.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So with all the music and stuff like that, you always wanted to bang on some fucking drums, and you never had a chance to until you were in your 20s. Now, once you got in your 20s, you were self-taught. You did that type of stuff. What did you get into bands right away? Were you able to join bands right away?
It was again, anybody that knows me, that is when I'm passionate about something, I get tunnel vision and I stay focused on it.
Yeah.
So at the time I was just working, working at Target, 9 to 5, working overnights. So I was just working, and I was trying to be like any good model citizen, and I was trying to work my way up the ladder and try to get positions. But when that shit didn't work out, I was like, you know what, fuck this. You know what? I'm gonna follow my fucking dreams. I'm gonna buy a fucking kit and I'm gonna fucking teach myself. And then from that point on, I never looked back.
Right.
And I was a full-time drummer. I practiced literally 6 to 8 hours a day right after work. And then I'll probably get 4 hours sleep, get up, go to work, do it again. And I did that for almost a year straight. And then eventually I found some guys at FYE when I was working there, and then we just linked up and just went from there. And then from that, everybody started asking me, "Hey, Dan, you want to fill in? You want to fill in the drums, huh, Dan? Huh, Dan, you want to fill in the drums, huh?" And I'm like, dude, I'm not even that good. I've only been doing this for a year, and already like I had like I don't know a couple of bands from New York and some from Jersey wanted to fucking scoop me up in practice, but I was like, it's too much, dude.
Tiffany Rise says, "Hi, Dan," with a big heart.
Tiffany, hello, Tiffany.
So, what was the now? What bands pushed you more towards the heavier stuff? Like what you kind of alluded that you like the '80s. You like a whole lot of different stuff. What were the bands that pushed you towards the heavier aspect of music?
Everybody's gonna give me shit about this, and I don't fucking care. But I was a big. I got into Demi Borgir, Cannibal Corpse.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that Norwegian black metal stuff that really resonated with me and really stuck with me. So anything from the early '90s, mid '90s, Demi Borgir, definitely Immortal, very heavily influenced in Immortal. Old Man's Child, Emperor. I mean, you name it. I listened to anything. I'm like, dude, this is my music. This is what I resonate with.
Right.
And of course, you had the death metal,
mm-hmm.
which is fine, but it was the black metal that really drove me to really playing that style.
Sure.
And that had that deep love for it.
I think Oz Bloodcurse can attest to that. He likes.
Oh, absolutely.
He
Me and Oz will talk about
stuff.
bands for days. For fucking days.
Yeah. Now you're kind of like me, dude. You dabble into everything, and like you said, man, when you get focused on something, that's what you're doing right now. Now you also are like a photographer that I had seen. You know what I mean? I seen some of your pictures, and when I got a camera, you were like one of the first motherfuckers I hit up. Like, dude, am I on the right track? Am I on the right track? And you were always really willing to like push me to do the right thing, focus the eyes, make sure this, you know what I mean, get the right things in focus.
Composition.
Yeah, right, man. And you were always pushing me along with that stuff. How did you get involved in doing camera stuff? How did you get involved in photography? Besides, wait. Now don't be telling me no booty shot Polaroids now.
Oh no. Not yet. That'll be coming soon. Maybe see some of those soon. No, the photography actually started with my grandmother when I was playing baseball, Little League baseball. And my grandmother will always have the camera. She will always literally she was like a photojournalist, capturing every moment. And she would just yell everybody knew my grandmother on the field,
right.
They'll be all fuck, this is fucking Dan's grandmother. Oh shit, she don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But she'll be taking pictures, and so my mom. So if there was any kind of family gatherings or any,
and that's 35 millimeter back then, right?
Yeah, it was 35 millimeter film, and they would always have cameras, and I'm like, what the? And I was the I'm not photogenic at the time. I'm just like, what do you want? And every time there was a photo, I was like, like, I'm gonna fuck your photos up. Stop taking pictures of me. But over time, it wasn't, again, into my later 20s, I started getting to photography, and I studied it for so long before I even bought my first camera.
Yeah. I'm
like, is this something that I'm gonna actually, pursue, or is it something that's just gonna, it's a hobby? I take a picture here, there, fucking whatever. No, it just stuck with me, and I just, again, if I'm passionate about it, and I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna keep going, and I never stopped.
Yeah. And you just upgraded every time you wanted to get what.
Yeah, I went from a regular point and shoot, a Canon PowerShot 330 HS, and I got that, and I was just taking pictures with that. And Rihanna would tell you, I just started my tattoo career, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna take pictures of my tattoos, I want good quality pictures so people can see it, so I can put it on social media. And I would take pictures of everything. It doesn't matter. It was either macro shots, landscape. I mean, you name it. I just kept doing it. And then I would go on YouTube and watch other photographers speak about photography. Right. And then I would watch shit on like the B&H channel.
Yep.
And dude, I mean, there were like lectures for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I would literally sit there for that amount of time and like study everything from wildlife, landscape, journalists, photojournalism, portraiture, boudoir, you name it. And I was sports, anything, and I would just sit there for hours and really, absorb it.
Right.
And then when I was ready, I got myself a DSLR, and then
what was your first DSLR?
My first DSLR, which I still have and I still use, is a Canon 80D.
Uh-huh.
And my first lens was the 24 millimeter pancake 2.8.
Yeah, wide,
And
nice wide, right?
yeah, it was 24, but the Canon 80D is APS-C.
What was the 24 as far as aperture? Was that 1 point?
It was a 2.8. It was a
2.8.
pretty
Okay.
fast aperture.
Okay.
So you get a nice bokeh,
Yep.
a nice background blur.
Yep.
So it was solid. Then I got the nifty 50 1.8, which I believe you bought.
Tasty,
Right,
dude. Yeah, that was like one of the. I think I may have even asked you about that too.
Yeah, you did.
I think you were talking about that 50, and then I started looking it up on YouTube and seeing what you could do. And I talked to another photographer. I have a couple different friends that are just amazing photographer, and they talked about those fucking now I'm half retarded. The lenses, the fucking prime lenses that you, instead of adjusting, your focus,
zoom lens,
you've got to go back and forth with the lens, and you can kind of feel how it is. My downfall was I wanted to get into the stuff, and I didn't buy a full frame camera. And that's something that I look back and still bum out. I still get a lot of good pictures when I take it,
Absolutely. It's all about composition in your eye, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Did you feel like
the gear comes?
Did you feel like you had a kind of a knack for it?
Honestly, I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then people were just like, "Oh, that's an awesome shot." This and that. And then obviously Rhiannon encouraged me. Dan, that's a good shot. And Rhiannon's also a photographer,
right?
So we would just go bounce ideas back and forth. And
you guys you guys just go on like walkabouts and do shit like that too. Didn't you guys just do that like not last year but the year before that? You guys went and did some like spooky houses or some shit, didn't you?
Yeah, it's urbexing, is urban exploration.
Okay.
So we would go to abandoned buildings, asylums, mental hospitals and stuff. And I'll go with the video rig and then all the photography to Rhiannon because she has a wicked good eye.
Yeah.
So I bought her a camera, a DSLR, and a kit lens, and I let her use my lenses. And she would shoot the photography, I would shoot the video, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I've always been into the paranormal and urbexing since me and Eddie, my cousin Eddie, used to do that back in the day.
Right.
So we would just do this on and off. So for the past 8 years, me and Rhiannon has been doing that. She'll scout out, she'll do the research, look for sites.
Sure.
Certain abandoned buildings and stuff like that.
Right.
Then we'll go actually drive and scout it out, and then we'll go and actually
go shoot some shit.
All our stuff.
Hell yeah. So I actually wanted to back up because there was somebody who was asking about the tattoos. My boy Adam D says, what is your favorite style of tattooing or tattoo?
I would say anything black work, solid black. It's always been a thing that I've always resonated with. I do black work in a sense where it's either solid black or it's just like black, obviously line work, dot work, shit like that, sacred geometry, stuff like that. That's my forte. Everybody in Rhode Island knows that's my
black and gray.
That's my black and gray. I could do black and gray, but I rarely get to do it.
Sure.
But I could definitely do black and gray. But black work is definitely black work / dot work is my forte. Everybody knows me for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you gravitate to that? Now when Rhiannon was kind of showing you, what were some of the things that helped you kind of hone your skill? You said you kind of dabbled as an artist. It was kind of your side thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that really cute girl down the block that you're checking out every now. She looking good, and eventually, you kind of run into her on the bus or at, you know what I mean? And you what's up?
Mm-hmm.
So what was the start of your tattoo stuff?
What really influenced me with that was my native background.
Mm-hmm.
And being awakened to my culture's background and the folklore and the what do you call it? Basically just the history, again, the folklore. And it's very primitive. It's very similar to the Polynesians.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that style of tattooing. And we had it in I'm from Puerto Rico,
right.
Puerto Rican. And I'm Taino. 14%, baby. That's high in our fucking shit, yo. All right. So that really awakened something within me. And I'm like, dude, I got to do this style. And it went from that, doing my own culture's designs and petroglyphs and shit like that, to getting into more spiritual stuff like sacred geometry, platonic solids, Metatron's cube, uh, especially mandalas, where everybody knows that I do mandalas and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude,
So
you do some beautiful work, bro. Beautiful work.
Thank you very much. And it went from that, and I literally just been in that bracket. So if it's anything universally, what's the proper word I'm looking for? If it's something that connects us all together, basically, I'm going to create something that's unique to you. But guess what? It's a part of everybody else because we're all one.
Right.
You know, we're all one consciousness. We're all connected. So I try to blend in that philosophy with the designs that I make for my clients. To, you know, it's your own thing, but guess what? I'm a part of it. You're a part of me, and we're part of everything that exists in this world.
Right.
So I wanted to make it something that's a lot more deeper than just, it's a style, it's just this, it's just that. I like to take it a little more deeper than just the surface. You know, I like to go deeper and go into the real, hidden meanings of things.
Right.
Especially with my clients, I like to understand who they are, how they tick, so I can incorporate that, into their pieces, and actually love it for the rest of their
Now,
life.
when someone selects you or you select them, really, when they want to come and get some tattoo work done, they've heard or seen your style of stuff. When you sit down with them for a consultation, do you really feel them out and see which direction, how you're going to be able to, make something special for them guys?
Absolutely. It's definitely a process where it's just not, us just talking, and I actually try to feel them out. And since it's I do that, I get arrested, dude. I'm already big and intimidating. I do that, forget it. Oh, the brown guy touched me. 18 alive, baby. No, it's the consultation obviously is a big thing, but it's just being intuitive, and really digging deep into who they are and trying to figure out exactly just what they're what they're telling you, and going from there.
I feel that from your pieces, man. When I see them, I feel like they are definitely not just something that you would pick up off the wall. You know what I mean? Which that style and people wanting to do that. I mean, if you like flash work or old school is a lot of flash work. You know what I'm saying? But when I see your work, to me, it seems like there's just a lot more heart and a lot more soul into those pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And like we were talking about before, when you're tattooing, so as a tattooer, and you're tattooing somebody, that's a connection. It's a ritual. This is going back to the Polynesians that were discovered by the sailors back then. When they do it, it's a whole ceremony. It's not just something that, oh yeah, you see that on the wall, it's fucking cool. Yeah, I want that fucking thing right there, which is fine. Right. That's tattoo history right there as well. And that's fine to get Flash or get Sailor Jerry, traditional stuff.
I got some Huck Spalding shit. I got some shit from them old school like junky ones. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but that's a style, and that's and it's revered by a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
But with all the other styles, I'll dabble Japanese, traditional. I don't give a fuck what it is. I'll do it black and gray. I just don't do realism. I just have trouble with realism.
Yeah.
But any other style, I'm down to do. Just ask me, and you know what? If I could do it, I know I could do it. If I'm confident, I'm like, yeah, I do it. But if not, dude, I have a whole bunch of tattooer friends that I'm like, dude, and I've done it. And I'm like, hey, and I'll like contact them. I'm like, bro, this client comes, they want this, bro. Just to let you know, I'm sending them your way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, knock that shit out of the park, bro.
Yeah.
And vice versa. They do the same thing. Like, Dan, fuck the sacred geometry shit. Take care of this, bro. I'm not. No, fuck these lines and dots and that's all you, bro. But I love all the ritualistic aspect of tattooing. It's something deeper, you know. The Polynesians did it. Marcus Islands did it. I mean, everybody from Borneo to even Japan. It's something. It's a bloodletting. It's a ritual. It's a connection between your client and yourself. Where you're exchanging energy. So it's a lot more deeper than just, somebody coming into the shop, they get something off the wall, you tattoo, yeah, here, fuck you, thanks for the money, see you, whatever.
Right.
No, when you come to the shop, and Rhiannon has the same philosophy. It's something more deeper and meaningful than just, I'm just tattooing you. We want to get to know our clients. We want our clients to be relaxed with us and to understand who we are.
Right.
So that, that it's a good experience. It's all about the experience.
Sure.
Just with anything else in life, you just don't want to, whatever. And sometimes it's good just to lollygag. Oh my God, okay.
Right.
And then it's fun. But with tattooing, as much as Mariana knows the client that's on here now. She's a good friend of mine.
Yep.
I just recently did her sleeve. She knows that when we're in the session, we'll talk about everything under the fucking sun, dude. It doesn't matter, and that's our connection,
Yeah.
and that's something very sacred and very personal.
I think that makes that connection so much more. And you're such a genuine guy, man, and fun to be around. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking before we got the show started. You were saying that you interview your clients just as much as they ask you questions. You're throwing them back at them like a real exchange. It's not just artists being quiet doing their fucking thing. You're connected with them. You're talking to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe. I mean, there's clients. I mean, there's tattooers that will look like this. They'll have their headphones on, and they're quiet, and they just tattoo. Nothing wrong with that. If that's how you work, that's more your thing. Me, I'm so extrovert, and I want to be aware of everything. I could be tattooing, something intricate of basically the style that I do, but I can still hold a conversation with them. I can laugh with them, or even better, I can start singing and doing karaoke, and they lose their shit laughing at me. But it's about the energy. And it also, I speak about energy and tattooing being a ritualistic experience. I'm putting my energy into that tattoo. So if I'm having a bad fucking day, no, I'm not tattooing you. I need a day for myself.
Yeah.
But and that's rare. That's very, very rare and seldom that it ever happens. Usually it's the other way around where they're having a bad day and I'm like, oh no, bro, we're gonna fucking party, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make this shit fucking bomb, dude.
Yeah.
And I'll sing and just have them laughing and cracking the fuck up.
Yeah. That's the environment too, man, because I worked at several tattoo shops. I owned a tattoo shop for a year and a half, 2 years in a small town in Minnesota before all the legal things changed here. I'd been, on and off piercing for like 7 years, you know what I mean? Going from shop to shop and just kind of, I've been around that whole environment. And it is really something when you have artists that are open and willing to work with each other. You know what I mean? When you find artists that, let's say there's a tattoo shop down the road, from your tattoo shop, there's always some sort of shit talk between those shops. There's always something. Some artist left one shop, went to another one, and there's always trash talking between the two. When you find a shop or artists like yourself that are willing to like hand work over to other artists because they want the customer to get what the fuck they want, right? They want them to make sure they get what they want. You don't want to give them the wrong energy, the wrong thing, a wrong representation of what you guys do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they'll be like, I just let a couple $100 walk out the fucking door. But you let them walk out the door, but you doing that is going to allow other people to do that back to you. So you know what I mean? That karmatic push back towards you is so much bigger than people think. And I've been in so many situations where that shit talking goes back and forth, and one shop shits on another shop, and they're fucking, they're fucking ready to go at it when they see each other. It's like, they're ready to beat street breakdance fucking against each other.
All right, well, it's your turn. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nope.
It's kind of crazy, but I love the vibe, man, because it pays itself off, man, when you're good to people, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that art and that type of energy and give that to people, man, it comes back, man. It comes back. You surround your people, you surround people with good people. And it's always going to pay off, man. And I feel that from you, dude. You're always about helping out, man, and paying it forward. And that's huge as a human, I think,
It's absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there. We're all sentient beings, we're all about love and compassion. Even some of us have a rough exterior. It doesn't matter, dude. I mean, if you could break through the facade, that connection is everything. You know what? And it could just be one single word, or it can just be an actual, what do you call it? Just a sit down and just talk. You know what? And that goes far beyond just what was said. It's the connection, and we all look for that as sentient beings. We're all, again, I always say that we're all connected as one. So It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Satanist, you're fucking Catholic. We're human beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Right.
So if we can't connect, and this is what we do, this is what we strive for, and this is what we yearn for, and that connection is love, it's compassion, it's that understanding. And if you don't have that right from the beginning, also respect.
Yep.
Which is good. Respect everybody's lifestyle or whatever they say, you know. But if you can't have an open mind and accept that person for who they are and what they are, dude, just shut the fuck up and go, because now you're gonna cause a rift,
Right.
and it's gonna cause issues.
Right.
So what, yeah, you know what? I'm very aggressive. I'll punch a motherfucker dead in the face, and then after everything clears, then ask somebody, all right, what was your beef? It'll be stupid. Then we go have a beer.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like a hockey fight.
Right.
But if you could diffuse that shit quick, and you'd be like, all right. Obviously, this dude is, he's this type of person. He's intense, or she's very quiet and meek.
Right. Right.
Try to find that common ground with them.
I agree with that, man. Well, for me, music has always been that common ground. You know what I mean? I've always asked, like, what are you into? What do you like? What do you listen to? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my mom used to listen to that. Oh yeah, my uncle. You know what I mean? Like, I try to touch that base with with people in general, man. There's a cat I work with that is like the squarest of squares, man. You know what I mean? He looked at. I'm wearing death metal shirts to work and all this shit, and he's just looking at me like a freak. And one day I catch him singing some Primus shit. You know what I mean? And I sat down and it was like, I've seen Primus a whole bunch of times, man. Me and Les go way back, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like we bonded off that shit. It was fantastic, a better experience for everyone. Let me see here. We'll get Craig Rosen's beard is checking in. Acre 13 in Princeton is the tattoo shop. He gets his stuff done. He said he's got some old school Sailor Jerry tattoos. Mariana said, let me see here, spiritual journey, she said. And Rhiannon said, Huck Spalding is my humble beginning. Yeah,
yes.
I don't see any of that stuff around anymore. That's why it's so crazy to me. Even in the tattoo shops, my buddy owns Lowbrow Saints, and it's like, he's an old school tattoo artist. That's his style. That's his jam, and he is like Rhiannon in many aspects as well. He takes people under his wing, you know what I mean? And he doesn't make them pay like this exorbitant amount, but he makes sure that, when they get started, they give them a little kickback on the return. You know what I mean? He pushes people. He finds, what they're good at in their style, and he pushes them in that direction, and he keeps them going. And it's fucking amazing, man, when you pay that shit forward, because his shop does well. The people like him. They like, he's always given, gift certificates and things to all the benefits that we do and everything.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
With the NYDM, I mean, we do that stuff every year with the Toys for Tots and the benefits and things like that. And I mean, how bad did you guys suffer as far with the COVID stuff? Now, did you guys have to shut down right away? I mean, did you guys get impacted right away?
It was March 17th of last year. I decided not to tattoo. I told my clients, I'm like, bro, I don't want nobody getting sick. I don't want to get sick. And then Rihanna was like, what do you think we should do? And I'm like, we should just close. It's not even worth it, We closed down for 3 months, got no government support. We got no grant or anything like that. So we were just basically waiting, like, all right, phase 3, phase 4, whatever. Like, come on, man, come on. And we were already backed up, for people that were getting their income tax and such, in February.
Right.
And it just happened in March. And this is like our meat and potatoes type, time of year.
Yeah.
Your mother. and we were just like, dude, we're right in the throes of getting our season started, and then COVID hit, and we were just, you son of a fucking cunt, what the fuck?
Right.
And then our clients are like, oh, we're gonna tattoo, and we got COVID, ha ha, and we're like, oh, well, we can't do nothing. And then when we opened up back in June, it's still right now, almost a year later, it's still like people are hounding us, and we love it. You know what? We're getting back on track. Our bills are being paid and stuff. It's still tough, and we could do but so much. And it's like, we have 4 artists in the shop. One is immune compromised, so she can't come in, or they can't come in because it's a high risk. And then the other one, she's terrified of catching COVID.
Right.
So she won't come in. So it's just me and Rhiannon right now. And it's been like that for, since last June. But we have that, again, I was taught by Rhiannon. She's old school. It's like, dude, let's go.
Yeah.
Nothing stops, dude.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And I have that same mentality, even before tattooing. So we have that mindset, that blue collar mindset. It's like, don't give a fuck what the fuck's going on, bro. We're going to tattoo. We're gonna put work. We're going to put work in.
Yeah.
And it's just been like that. But the thing is, we're so backed up with clients. And then, you tattoo every day. and that takes a toll. You get burnt out. So I schedule probably one every other day, and I only tattoo one person a day. That's it. Just so that, I limit contact with people. I don't catch nothing, and I can continue, tattooing rather than doing 3, 4, 5 people a day,
Yep.
and then having the risk of me catching something, me giving it to someone else.
Right.
No, it's too much.
Right.
So I work at that's also, it's like a yin and yang. It's a paradox where, you know what, we don't tattoo as much, but it's good for our mental and emotional state where we could just chill the fuck out, get these drawings done, schedule our clients accordingly, and get them in the door, get them out, and then, and work slowly at a pace. Rather than, as you know, in a shop, you're like, yo, let's go. Whether it's a street shop or custom, whatever, you're cranking them out one after another. And that's how me and Marianne especially are like that. I don't care what you want to get that done. All right, let's go. Draw it up. All right, tattoo. All right, next. Whoa, who's next? What do you want that? All right. And we're not doing that right now. So it's a paradox. It's not that great, but it's good for our mental and emotional state and our physical state, because where the mind goes, the body follows.
Right.
So therefore, we can chill out, get these drawings done, have fun with our clients, and go on about our business. And for that, we get time to Rihanna gets time to spend with James, her husband, and chill out with Dean. Everybody knows Dean the Spaniel.
Yeah.
Dean. I had to give him a plug. That's my baby boy. I love that boy so much.
Yeah.
And I get to just chill out and relax instead of, because me and Rihanna, our brain is always at work.
Right.
And she's the owner, Chrissy's a co-owner, and you can say I'm a silent partner, because I invest a lot into the shop as well.
Yeah.
So we're constantly thinking about, tattoos, drawings that we got to get done, and bills got to be paid. So we're on that. That's
already a stressful situation right there. If you're trying to jam all of that going on with this pandemic shit going on, that's gonna weigh on you no matter what, man. I totally feel you on there, and it will show it to your customers once you get burnt. You know what I mean? Once you start hitting that burn, you start getting agitated, and you know what I mean. It don't matter if you have a good outlook and a good personality. When you're worn thin, you're worn thin. That's just how it is, man.
And I try not to show that to my clients. I try to keep composure, be professional as possible, have fun, because it's not about me. It's about them. But also, I have to love myself and reflect that. No, I'm important as well. If I'm having a bad day, I can allow myself to have a bad day and back the fuck off.
Yeah. And
be like, you know what? I need some time with myself. I know what? I'll take care of you later.
Yeah.
Right now, I got to take care of myself, because if I'm not in a good fucking mood, nobody likes Danny in a bad mood.
Right.
And people who know Rhiannon and Chrissy know me especially. And if I'm in a bad mood, dude, I want to kill someone, literally fucking murder someone.
Sure.
So if I need that time to have a cigar, sit back, have a a drink, and just chill out, like, all right, let me reset myself.
Yeah.
I'll come back stronger and like, all right, like nothing happened, and just work, even harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam D, dude, this guy has been on. He's in a band called Forever Gray, and dude's a fantastic guitar player and vocalist, right? And this cat came on the podcast with his band one time prior to this, and he's followed me through this whole like journey in the last couple of years of me kind of taking a break from this podcast thing and coming back. And he's been like one of those people, man, that has been pushing me along, trying to get me to get back into this stuff and doing everything and like being real inspirational. And he's been always asking questions with my guest, kind of, interacting with in the chat. And I fucking love it, man. Big ups to you, Adam, man. I really appreciate it. He asked
Adam, keep showing love, dude, and keep asking fucking questions, bro. Yeah. We need more people like you, man. Just don't come into the fucking chat and sit there and, they're funny. Yeah. Ask questions, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. He's good shit, man. He wants to know, have you ever had a bad client? Like somebody who's all up in your face talking trash, just being a bad person?
No.
Well, no. Adam, this is the thing. Danny and I are, Danny's a bigger fella than I am, okay? Danny's a big fella. He's a little taller than I am, and he's wider than I am. He's a big fella. Now, a lot of people that I know think that I'm an intimidating person and get to know me, and I'm not as rough as I appear to be. Now Danny's the exact same way. He's a sweetheart, but being a sweetheart, there's times motherfuckers want to push that button and find out. That's the thing. So when you ask him a question like that, it's probably not very often somebody gets a Dan's face.
And the thing is, I'm very personable. I'm very professional when it comes to tattooing and stuff like that. So when I was an apprentice or my first couple of years of tattooing, you have the ghetto fab motherfuckers coming in asking for a discount and all that shit. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you want, dude. I just want the experience. I want a tattoo. Now I'm 12 years in the game. I don't have time for that shit. So if you come into the shop, now mind you, this is the shop that me and Rhiannon work at. It's Rhiannon's shop. It's a matriarchal shop. It's ran by women. It's ran and owned by women. Women own the shit. I'm the only
badass women too. Badass.
Oh
women.
No, you don't fuck with these ladies, bro. You don't.
For real.
And I've always been, and I'm fortunate, and I'm completely blessed that I was raised by strong women in my family that are very independent, and they're like, no, we're gonna get shit done, and they're exactly like that. So when somebody comes in with that attitude, regardless of what walk of life you're walking that motherfucking you and you come in here and said, we give you a price for a tattoo, and you're like, oh yeah, it's cheap, my boy could do it. My first thing is like, bro, why the fuck did you come in here? You're not gonna fucking haggle, motherfucker. Get the fuck out.
Right, kicking
Get your boy to fucking give you fucking hepatitis and fucking AIDS, you bitch.
Right.
And especially like when they do it to Rhiannon or they do it to the other females in the shop, like I let them do their thing. They're strong enough to handle their own. But you come out your face to any of these ladies here, dude, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock you the fuck out, drag you out to the shop, and probably piss on your fucking face.
Yeah.
Right? And probably stick you in the fucking ribs. Have the cops come and I'm just telling my beef, you don't respect people here.
Right.
You don't respect nobody. We show love and compassion right and respect right off the bat. Don't come at us like that. Dude.
Yeah.
Don't.
Rhiannon said she said I'll cut a bitch. I'll cut a bitch if they get stupid.
No, we laughing about it, but if you ever seen Rhiannon pissed, dude, you're just unwoken the fucking demon goddess, bro. She just like me. I'm gonna fucking end you.
She's a big Amazon chick too, man. Rhiannon's no joke. She clobber a dude. I'll tell you what. She'll put it on you for sure. For sure.
No fucking bullshit. I don't tolerate the disrespect. You know what? If you know my worth, you know what? You're not gonna ask about price. And all my clients that've been with me for so many years, they never ask about price. They just come and get it done. I'm like, they're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. And
that's it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not a cheap mother, and I'm not a cheap motherfucker. I charge $200 an hour, and I know I'm worth $200 an hour. But I'm trying to separate myself from the fucking assets from other shops that, charge $100 an hour. Or, I'll give you a tap out session, 8 hours. See how much you can Nah, dude, I don't do all that bullshit, man. Yeah. I'm this much an hour, or I'll charge you for the piece. This is what it is, and that's it. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. I know my worth, bro. I know how much energy and time I spend for your pieces. And it's something that I don't take lightly. That's why sometimes it takes me, a couple of weeks to get a piece done, drawn up for my client. Because I'm trying to think about the piece.
What kind of deposit do you guys?
I don't take deposits.
You don't take deposits?
I don't think Rhiannon does. I don't. The reason being is because if a client leaves a deposit, now they act like they own you. Where's my fucking piece? No. You're on my time, you piece of shit.
Right.
All right. I'll let you know. So therefore, I don't want that. But then when you get the piece, you're all happy and joyful, right? Right? But before then, they're like, have you drawn it up yet?
Yeah.
Have you drawn? I mean, come on, seriously. Like, I'm like, dude, don't do that to me, man.
Right. Yeah. Ever have anybody come back and while you're in the middle of drawing their piece and try to add a bunch of shit to it?
I would be lying if I said no. And it's just because a lot of people are just undecisive in general.
Yeah.
And they honestly don't know what the fuck they want, but they see shit on Pinterest and Google, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. And they're like, can you do this with it? Can you do this? And I do that. Whatever this is and that is, I do it. And they're like, how about just the regular piece, like what I got, the reference? I'm like, why'd you make me do this? Is why I don't take the deposit. Because now I'm like, I'm going to just keep telling you to give me deposits, to give me money just to draw shit that you don't want. And you're not going to get tattooed. So it's like that. It's that paradox. It's like, yeah, you know what? I won't take your deposit, but I will work with you.
Sure.
And you know what? I'm not on your fucking time. I am never on your fucking time. You're on my fucking time.
Yeah.
Always remember that.
When we were at the annual together, you told people in advance, and I remember you posting about it like, I'm going to be gone from this time to this time. I don't want to hear from none of you motherfuckers until I get back at this time. And when we were together, you were like, I can't even believe this shit right now. And I'm like, what? You're sitting there texting this I told this motherfucker in advance.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear about no kind of tattoo shit while I was gone. I was
don't
rolling.
Get me wrong. I appreciate them. People want to get tattooed by me. Believe me, I'm very honored.
Yeah.
I'm very humbled by that. But there's a time and place for everything. Now, when it comes to NYDM and the annuals, our thing, bro, I take that. Everybody who knows me personally, dude, I don't sleep. All 3 days, I don't sleep. I try to hang out with everyone. I try to talk to everyone. Try to just have the best memories I could possibly have, because it's just one time a year I get to see any of you guys.
Yeah.
So that at this time, it's like, all right, you know what? I focused most of my life in the past decade to my clients, right? Keeping the shop, the name, the brand, everything up to par. With a lot of competition, because within a 1 mile radius there's 5 shops, and then there's us. So therefore, and Rhode Island's the smallest state in the union. We're the smallest state, so everybody's popping up with a tattoo shop.
Right.
So our focus, especially me and Rhiannon, our focus is, dude, all right, there's work. Let's go. We can't let this client go. We got to do this. Let's go. So when it's time to actually just sit back, chill, like going to an NYDM annual, I don't want to fucking hear shit, dude.
Right.
I want to hear Greg's voice. I want to hear what's going on in his life face to face, not just through text, not just showing hot chicks, hot fitness chicks and stuff like that.
Right.
No. I want to know what my brother's going through in life. I want to know how his mental state is. I want to have that one-on-one. I want to have that beer with him or that shot and just talk,
Yeah.
Because, you know what? It's fun doing the stuff that we're doing right now, being on, Zoom and texting and Facebook. That's all great. But, dude, the sentient experience is about being there in person and being in the now with that person, and with your group of friends.
Yeah.
And, dude, just having fun about the stupid shit, ball busting, reminiscing on bands that we saw, shows that we went to, and the shit that happened. I love that. I live for that.
Yeah.
So, I try to separate, business with pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't like to mix them. That's it.
No, dude, the way you portrayed that and the way you said that about the annuals, man, I try to explain that to people so much about the NYDM, because a lot of people get so mixed up about what we're about. And when there's so many friends and people that I've met from the annuals, and like people going to Randy shows and you know what I mean? Things like that, people flying in and us talking online all the time. And it's like you want to relay that just that particular thing, man. You know what I mean? The camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, and meeting all these people. We're all the same type of people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody's into their niche of music, and we love talking about it. We love being around each other. We love talking about our families and about, you know what I mean, everything that's going on. I think the last time my daughter had a seizure, about a month and a half ago, I had more people from out of state hitting me up, wanting to make sure everything was okay with my family. That means so much to me, man. You know what I mean? Especially in these times where we can't see each other a lot. You know what I mean? You can't be in a room full of people right now. You know what I mean? Nope. That shit, just checking in, saying what's up. I love waking up and seeing you sending me something, you know what I mean? Us connecting. Gil is the same way, man.
Oh, I love Gil.
He'll be sending me shit all the time, man. And little videos while he's driving and shit, man. He just sent me. He's singing fucking "I'm in Love with Mary Jane" while he's driving down. Getting this thing on and like, yeah, into the shit, just out of nowhere, I love that, and it's such an experience for people, man. They think that because you wear a vest, you're involved in some heavy shit, or you're trying to be a tough guy, or some other shit, man. I would say guys like you and I have been in that role before. You know what I mean? Being big dudes, you look a little intimidating. You try to break that mold. You try to be a nice guy. You try to pay it forward. You try to be real with motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And I think everybody that I've met, besides like a handful of people that are no longer in the club over some dumb shit that they've done, dumb messing with other club members' ladies, or messing with, you know what I mean? Just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those people that are gone from the club, excluding those fools, right? All the people I've met are always cool, man. Always down to earth.
Oh, absolutely. And one fact that I want everybody to know, me and Greg share the same birthday, just different years. We're both December 18th for Sagittarius, and we're fired, baby.
That's
You know,
crazy.
we love to be around people. We love knowledge. We love to obtain it. This is how we get, gain that life experience. It's through this.
Dude,
this
I always
interaction.
forget. I always forget that. That's like that's crazy till we get right around the same time. What's up, dude?
I'm like, yo, how the fuck he getting more birthdays than me, man? The fuck? He's getting 300. I only got 190. That's bullshit, man. I'm as popular as him. The fuck? You love me too, motherfuckers.
Right? You just want to call out people. How you gonna happy birthday them?
I'll call out somebody so fucking fast. I don't give a fuck. But going back to the NYDM, I could tell you right now, if it wasn't for the NYDM and knowing Rhiannon, I would not be a tattooer right now, or the multiple fucking opportunities I got while being in this fucking club,
right?
This fucking family. Like, there's so many things I could, because I remember I could list every single thing that I have gained from this family, just being there, being present, and having these interactions and these connections like we have, with everybody else. So,
how did you get started with all of that too, man? How did you get involved in it? Yeah, with the NYDM.
This goes back to Jersey in 2003. I was sessioning for a band called Blood Throne. They're a black death metal band from Jersey. Troy Hamilton, aka Captor from Chicago, and my boy Mike from Ezerate. He moved to Jersey. He had a band. I sessioned for a couple months or something like that, for like a year. And then the lead vocalist, Gabe, he was part of the NYDM with Will, and everybody in the New York scene. And he was like, dude, you should, check out the club. He starts telling me about the club. And then he wanted to step down as president because he was president of Jersey at the time. So we clicked so well that he was like, how do you feel about being president and taking control of the Jersey chapter? I'm like, dude, I was only fucking 22 and a half.
Right.
And I was like, all right, dude, I'm down, because metal was my life at the time. That was it. Just metal, touring, playing. I didn't give a fuck. That was it. So then literally I had a fucking, he brought it up to Elena, Will, and Randall up in Duff's in Brooklyn, the first one, the original one.
Yep.
And he was like, all right, you're going to have a meeting with them up in Duff's this weekend. I was like, oh, okay. So literally I went to Duff's. It was Gabe, it was Randall, Elena, Will, Greg from Long Island, and blah, blah, blah. They told me what it was about, what I have to do. And I was like, I accept it. And I became chapter president from NYDM.
Damn, right off the block, huh?
I didn't prospect or nothing. And that was a time when the club was just really formating. But again, I was I dove so hard into metal and the lifestyle and NYDM that I'm like, dude, I fucking love this. I absolutely fucking love it. I did everything for it,
right.
And it's me. NYDM is me. It's you.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest president ever in the NYDM at 22 and a half, going on to 23.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
There. And
how long were you president there?
From 2000, the end of 2004, all the way up to 2009.
Then who took up?
Brian.
Okay.
Brian Davis, rest in peace, our brother.
Yeah.
Love him dearly. He took over as I believe captain. Eddie, my cousin, he took over as vice president and all that stuff. So I mean, those are my boys, those are my brothers through thick and thin. So I just told them, guys, just do this. I'm on my way to Rhode Island. Just take over, and from then on, the rest is history, man.
Right.
They all did their fucking thing.
It's so much different than it was back then. You know what I mean? Like I had seen Don Decker. Don Decker used to give me shows. Was like the first dude to hire me to play my band to play. When we were kids, man, 17, 18 years old. You know what I mean? And when the NYDM came around with him, I think it was all just him booking Will and you know what I mean, all the tour guys, and people coming in through tour and them just knowing everybody, you know what I mean, and the same people coming to the show, hanging out, and it just, you know what I mean, it would skip from state to state to state, and all those cool people eventually started to come into the club, you know what I mean, and that's pretty much what happened with Decker and I, is that we had just known each other for so fucking long, and he wanted me, I was respected, and I guess, feared because of what I did in the pit. You know what I mean? Like, people knew who I was because I used to scrap a lot. I used to get into a lot of shit, you know? And that's how I got the name the Hexagon, is because I would go the other way and I was just a fucking maniac, you know what I mean? I was always wearing pentagrams and into, you know, death metal and fucking satanic shit all the time.
I'm right there with you, bro.
And it wasn't,
Same
you know,
way.
and it wasn't even really my deal, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't heavy into Satanism. I dabbled, you know what I mean?
I was.
You know, but it was the thing, you know what I mean? I went across the gamut when it came to religion. You know, you just want to know, you know what I mean? You want to know which direction, you know, where you're at. And that's kind of how I got the Hexagon monikers, you know, from Decker, and playing shows for Decker for so many years. I didn't prospect either. I was just handed a patch, and that was the way it was. And then after he passed, you know, it wasn't big here. He helped by touring with his band Anal Blast, you know, spreading the NYDM around through the states, you know, in the southern states and things like that. And he helped build this club into a lot more, you know, unity and in chapters being built here and there. And I think after he passed away, that was my thing, man, is I just wanted to be a part of it to really commemorate a friend of mine, because he you know, people know Decker from, you know, the drunk guy who would do his anal blast shit, and like his, you know, it was like, if you know anything about Alice Cooper, it was like Alice Cooper became Alice Cooper on stage, and then when he was off, he was a totally different dude. But as he went going, you know, kept going and going and going, Alice became his persona forever. You know what I mean? Like, the demons never went back in the closet. That's how Decker was, is that he was never really too outlandish when I knew him. And then he got into the whole, you know, it was like the porn grind shit, you know what I mean? Like that was, you know, the Mentors and, you know, things like that, where they were pushing the boundaries of everything, G.G. Allen and all, you know, all that punk rock shit. Like, that's where Decker went. And he got no love in his own state, you know what I mean? Like, he'd have a show and there'd be 20 people in the crowd, man, you know what I'm saying? And then you go, you see, you know, in 2004, he just released an album. I can't even, you know, off the top of my head know what that album is, but we went out on a few dates with him in California, and we did some in Arizona, and we did some stuff in Vegas. And it was like, I looked at these crowds, dude, from knowing him for so many fucking years, and saw him have people in the crowd singing his shit back to him with 2,000 people in the fucking room. You know what I mean? And it's like,
awesome,
this motherfucker gets to his hometown and everybody's like, fuck you, you fat fuck. You know what I mean? That type of shit. And he fucking reveled in the shit, man, you know?
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, he fucking did, dude. Oh, yeah.
You know, and you know, taking shits on stages here, man. There were people that just dreaded having Anal Blast on the stage because they never knew if he's going to pull a tampon out of his ass or he's going to, you know, shit on the stage. And that's not the dude I knew when I was coming up. You know what I mean? His band wasn't like, he wasn't touring a whole bunch. He was, you know, the guys from Slipknot were playing with him. There were, you know, he was recruiting, and Paul, you know, he was recruiting these people from all over the place to play on his albums and to do all this shit, you know. So when he passed away, man, it was like the most logical thing, because in the Twin Cities there was no real legitimacy to the NYDM here. It was just kind of like it wasn't. I mean, when I think about it and know the history of the shit, like, it has legitimacy to it, you know what I mean? Will and all of them cats, Randall, I mean, everybody that was involved from the beginning, those weren't just fucking pushover dudes. These guys were for real cats that were in a fucking scene that was blowing up. The incantation dudes, the immolation dudes, you know, the suffocation cats, you know, all of them cats, you know, Mortician, and I mean, all of them cats, they were for real cats. So it was like in Minnesota, which is so far removed from all of that shit, you know what I mean? They were like, ha, 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 you want to be the metal mafia and all this other shit. You know, they make all kinds of fucking silly remarks, right? But when I came into the shit, dude, you said some shit like that around me and you're getting slapped upside your head most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, they just didn't say that shit when I was around. And then it was like, I just didn't get into all of that shit no more. I wasn't into fighting no more. I just wanted to be into metal and bring people into it. And do the podcast and, you know what I mean? Like, promote, like, try to be a part of something bigger than me. And, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had a reputation. Aaron Whiteside's got me in as enforcer. And I was in the club probably God, I want to say 3-4 years before I even, it was even like real. After he passed away, there was, Randy and John Herkis and myself. And I mean, there was a handful of us that were still left after he passed away, So it was like we had to rebuild everything over here. And
you guys are doing it strong. You guys
well,
are fucking great.
it's been up and down in the last couple of years with the COVID stuff and with people, you know what I mean, just bouncing in and out. And again, you learn to find the people that are going to be fucking up, doing crazy shit or, trying to hit on other people's ladies or just, acting a fool at an annual. I mean, just there's certain shit. And as you move up, I went from enforcer to vice president to president to international, regional president, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it's like trying to explain to people what we're talking about and the camaraderie and the true bond that we have in this familia, man. It's so much more than just an explanation of a show that we go to. You know what I mean? There's so much more to it. When you're not getting many hours of sleep, you want to see everybody you can, and by the end of that weekend, you're almost in tears because you're like,
oh, I'm in tears. Oh yeah, I'm in tears.
It's like, man, I don't want to fucking wait another year to possibly see you guys again. You know what I mean? It's difficult, man. It's really tough. And I've been to 2 annuals. That's it. Just 2. That's it. But I've seen so many other people coming into Wisconsin for Randy shows, and it to me, it's like it's made such an impact on my life, man. You know what I mean? In the people that I've met and the bonds that I've made through the NYDM is it's lifelong, man.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So I totally feel you on that shit, man. So how many club tattoos have you done?
I believe 4.
You remember who's got them?
Lewis from Connecticut, chapter president from Connecticut. I've done who else, man? Oh fuck. Was it Pat? Pat from Oregon? I did one for him, an intricate one. I'm just bad with the chapters. There's so many fucking chapters, dude.
Yeah.
I've done a couple. It was like 4. Those are the ones that I remember, like off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I haven't done much. I know Rian has done a couple.
Yeah.
But she's the like the tattoo department head person that you talk to when it comes to club ink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
About like 4.
Yeah. When do you have yours on your arm here?
I have obviously the club.
Yep.
Tattoo, NFLAD, NYDM for life and death, New York Death Militia underneath me. You can't see anymore because I was stupid and got small as fonts. And then I got my left calf is my Jersey chapter logo. So nice. I'm always Jersey no matter where I'm going. No matter what chapter I'm at, I'm always Jersey.
Now, where were you born, dude? Now you stay in Rhode Island now, but where were you? Where'd you come up at? You said North New Jersey is what you said.
Yeah, I was born and raised in North Newark, New Jersey.
North New Jersey.
North Newark, New Jersey. It's ghetto as hell. But the thing with Newark, if anybody knows, you have so many stars, like whether it's athletes, movie stars. There's so many people that have come from my city,
right?
And it's like we're a melting pot. But there's so much talent in the city because it's almost like NYC. You come from any of the 5 boroughs only there, bro. You got personality. You know what's up,
right?
If you can make it there, literally, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And the same goes for Newark.
Right.
And people will see when I post up on Facebook, like, yeah, Newark this, and I'll post this and that. And everybody's like, oh, here goes Dan with his fucking Newark stuff. Oh, who cares? He's big and bad. I'm like, dude, you motherfucker. If you came from where I came from, dude, believe me, you'll have a backbone. You think fucking South Providence and fucking Boston and fucking Southie is fucking tough? Bro, dude, Newark ain't no fucking different. It's just as tough, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't take that shit lightly because I take pride in how I grew up.
Right.
I grew up in a great home, middle class family, but I was raised in the streets as well. I'm not stupid, know. Right. I did my fucking dirt.
Right.
So I have the best of both worlds where I'm street smart. I know what's up. I'm not stupid, but I have school smarts. I'm academically smart as well.
Right.
So having those two was a
double
fucking
threat.
Blessing.
Hell yeah, double threat.
Fuck yeah, all day, every day.
What? So Adam wants to know what the music scene is like or was like in your area, and then he also wanted to know about Jersey. Any metalcore bands there is what he was asking.
As far as Rhode Island's metal scene, it's kind of you know, it's such a small state. So if anything, you have more guys, more bands from Mass and shit. I'm definitely gonna put a plug in now. Kingsman, my friend Adam, he's the bassist for the band Kingsman. They're blowing up right now in Massachusetts, bro. They're fucking awesome. You definitely got to check them out on YouTube. And I mean, you have bands like that, but the heavier shit, it's like bands coming from NYC, you know, from all over the place. They'll stop in, and obviously the bigger acts. But Providence doesn't really have anything as far as a good solid venue except for the big one. So most likely we always go to the Palladium in Worcester in Massachusetts, and that's where all the bigger bands go to, and that's where you know we see most of our shit. But that is, you know, it's all right. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's there. It's still alive. But as far as Jersey, oh man, dude. I mean, you might as well just say anything from fucking Jersey. It's New York, NYC.
Right.
You know, because every band that plays in Jersey is
interchange,
going to NYC.
right? They're just interchanging.
Yeah, we're playing with Immolation. We're playing with Mortician. And my first show, I played with alongside Mortician. That's why I first met fucking Will.
Right.
You know, in person.
Right.
And that show was just fucking crazy. I'm like, oh my god, Mortician! Hi, Will. Hi, Will. How you going?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And now he's my brother. You know,
yeah.
I could talk shit to him all fucking day. We'll laugh and bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
But,
that's how I felt with Becerra too. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Becerra. You know, my fucking brothers were huge into Possessed when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And they would always push that stuff on me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into it. I'm not into it. You know?
7 churches.
Yeah, dude. And it grows on you. You know what I'm saying? It like sticks to you, and then I get to meet them. You know what I mean? And like I said, I was talking about Primus too. You know, with Larry Lalonde playing in Possessed at the time, and it was like meeting Jeff Becerra for the first time and him being so like open arms, like, dude, you're part of the club. What the fuck? Get over here. Give me some love. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he's like, okay, so here's the deal. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of you. All right, get me on stage. You're standing back behind the band the whole night. And I was just like, what? And like during the fucking set, he's like, yes, you're going to be right behind me. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I pull my phone out and I'm taking pictures of the band. You know what I mean? Like holy shit. Yeah. You know, I'm fucking standing on stage with Possessed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was it too, man. Oh, look at yeah. Oh, it's funny, man. It's just like that.
Great.
Yeah. It's funny when I met Will for the first time too. You know, everybody that we all came with, a few of them had met him before. Yeah, he's real cool, you know. And then I don't even remember who said it, but they were like, I thought he was way bigger, you know, that he'd be way bigger when I saw him, you know. And he's just a little brick shithouse of a dude, you know what I'm saying? And it's such a cool motherfucker, dude. Such a cool motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I fucking love Will.
Yeah.
I fucking love him to death, dude.
Hell yeah.
Fucking love him.
Hell yeah, dude. So I was going to ask you about the shop. So tell us the name of the shop again.
The shop is called Phoenix Tattoo and Wellness Center.
Yep.
Obviously, we do tattoos, and then the wellness part, you have tarot card readings that Rhiannon does.
Yep.
The biomat, which is basically a mat that you lay down on, and the mat has amethyst crystals, and it has this like battery pack that's connected to it, so it charges the crystals as you're laying down. And then we have a Reiki practitioner, whether it's Jess or Rhiannon, giving you Reiki on top of that, so you're giving like a sandwich of like positive energy,
right? Basically
to revitalize the body, realign your chakras,
right,
and things like that. So that's basically what the shop is.
That's a relaxing yet titillating spot.
I mean, if you're curious, I mean, you can go to Google. You can Google us. You can go to our Facebook page, and you'll see all the testimonials from our clients. You know, you come here, it's like your family. You know, we don't treat you any different than anybody else. You know, you're part of our clan. You know, and you come here to heal.
Right.
You know, if you want to express yourself the way you want.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And we welcome that.
Oh yeah,
that's what it's been for, and that's been the idea for right from the beginning, because that's what Rhiannon wanted to do. She's like, I'm sick of working in these shops where it's just like you just had to disconnect with your clients. It's like, oh, you want this? Okay. Oh God, a Pinterest tattoo. Oh,
yeah, right.
And that's just like, oh, you want that? All right, you know what? You don't mind if we change it up? Do that, and then obviously you're going back and forth, with ideas with your client. You want to make it something that's more unique to them,
right?
So whatever the fucking tattoo is, like, all right, let's do it. Let's make it your own. Let's make it you.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
that's
So-
what I would always try to preach to people. You know, just being from the front counter guy when I first started. You know what I mean? And like knowing the tattoos, and people would ask me a ton of questions, and I'm like, I'm not an artist, but I can give you my idea of on this, and I would love to sit down with the artist and actually talk to them and see where they where their minds were going when it came to drawing up things and like taking things off the wall and, giving a backbone of an idea. You know what I mean? I really like that style there. I really like that and really making it their own. Like I had two ladies, and they had been in a relationship for, I want to say they said like 7 or 8 years, and they wanted to get each other's names tattooed on each other. And I was like, nah, that's not really a good idea, and
it's
like
the kiss of death,
yeah,
bro.
man. I was like, a lot of bands, and that was like my thing is like, a lot of bands when they get their band logo tattooed on them, and and they're looking at me and they're going, well, we've been together since, for like 8-9 years now, or 7-8 years, whatever they said, and I'm like, do you really want to take that chance? Like, that's not a good, you know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite, you know what I mean? Like, get a cute little bunny rabbit if that's what she's into, I mean? I like big bulls, you know what I mean? Like, I like, something, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, trying to talk them out of that shit. I mean,
like, you want a vagina? We'll put a vagina on your next one. You want a picture of your girl's vagina? We'll do that. How about that? No, okay, no. It's an idea. It's better than her fucking name.
Right. Yeah.
At least when you break up, you can say, oh, yeah, I love pussy.
Yep.
There
I love
go.
it. But I will always remember that one pussy. It's right there.
But nobody knows that, only you. But when people
Right.
see that, they're like, oh, obviously she loves pussy.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I can't even tell you how many guys that I've seen come into the shop and they're getting some big ass tattoo that's covering up some chick's name. What happened, man? Oh, she slept with my best man and my wife.
Yo,
How long
I
were
go
you
to
married?
sucking my boy's dick back behind the fucking dumpster.
Right.
Like, a good job there, Jose. Good choice there, you fucking Todd.
Yep. It's ridiculous, man.
When it comes to name tattoos, I mean, again, Rhiannon schooled me. She's like, let your client know that's the kiss of death. Just don't let them get the fucking significant other's name.
Yeah.
You know what? If it's a design or something, yeah, but the name, no. Try to fucking course them to something else, a different design. Something else that, if just in case they break up, they don't want to cover the tattoo, but they'll be like, you know what, it could symbolize something else in their life rather than that person.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's about energy. So you don't want to put the energy on your own body and be stuck with it for the rest of your life. And you're like, yeah, it's the time of my life, and I got this puta's name on my arm, and I don't know anymore, but she broke my heart. And you're like, well, we told you. I know, but I love you so much. You're like, oh my god, dude!
I got the perfect tattoo for you. Told you.
Yeah, fucking put the fucking Ghostbusters logo instead of
Yep.
the fucking ghost to be the name or something. Just come on, man. And we just try to just stray them away from that.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times, and this working in the industry, no matter how many times you try to have them stray away from that idea, they're like, no, I really love this person. And guess what? 2 weeks later, they'll tell you that sob story. And you're like, bro, now I gotta cover this shit up. So it comes to the point where you almost have to prepare yourself. Like, all right, I'm doing this name tattoo. I have to remember it because I know this fucking dick or this fucking puta is gonna come back and want this shit covered.
Right.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, 99% of the time, they come back. They're like, yeah, it didn't work out. So like, those things happen. I just want to know if I could cover this up with like this. And I'm like, okay, sure, let's do it.
So here's a question for you too.
Yeah.
Now with the popularity of people like Post Malone and Lil Peep and all these other fucking everybody getting their faces tattooed. Mm-hmm. How is it when it comes to your guys' shop? Do you guys is it like the name thing? Like you want to tell them because it's changed a lot since we were coming up, man. Nobody went beyond their, spots where their shirts would cover up.
The collar.
Yep. Nothing above the collar. And now it's starting to become, something like I went beyond my shit early, in my early 20s, and my mom and my grandparents and everybody was like, you're fucking up, man. People are not going to give you jobs, and they're not going to give me jobs because I'm high on dope, man. Let me tell you that right now. It wasn't about because of my tattoos. It was because I was.
Personality is too much. They can't
Hey,
handle.
listen, I just want to. I'm here to work. You know what I mean? I want to, that type of shit. So where do you guys stand when it comes to face tattoos and things beyond the thing, especially with younger folks coming in?
I've done, I believe, 2 tattoos on younger people. One over the eyebrow, and I think one on the side of the face. And they were real small, but obviously it's almost the same thing that goes with somewhat same thing with the names, the significant name.
Yeah.
Getting tattooed on you. So it's a serious consultation now. If they came in, they called, all right, and I want to get this on my face. I'm like, all right, what do you? My first question is, what do you do for a career? What do you do right now? And they're like, oh, I do this. I'm like, all right, do they allow it? Second of all, do you plan to work through the rest of your fucking life? Because now you have that on your face. If that job doesn't pan out,
legitimate questions, man. Legitimate shit, man.
So it's like a laundry list of questions, and then it's not only the questions itself, their reaction, my intuition, and it's everything combined. I put that whether it's a yes or no with me,
right?
And I'm like, well, I feel I can't do this, dude. I'm not gonna give you a job stopper because you're having this moment right now in your life that you feel that you want this on your face. I mean, this is your identity. Now, unless you're a tattooer in this industry or an industry that that they don't care about tattoos or basically your aesthetics. I mean, by all means, you do. That's your choice. Yeah, I'll do it. Especially if you're a heavy collector. By all means, like, bro, you know what you're getting yourself. You already got your hands tattooed. Your fucking neck. What the fuck is the difference with your face? It's the same shit.
Right.
But if you're 18, between 18 and like 28 and shit like that, you're still figuring shit out. So therefore, I mean, that's one of the first questions I ask. Like, how old are you? What's your career? You plan to staying in that career for the rest of your life, X, Y, and Z, and all that. So it's a long process, but it's an actual consultation where I sit them down. I'm like, all right, I'm saying, let's get to the meat and potatoes up in this motherfucker, because I gotta figure out if you really want this. I don't care. I'll tattoo you.
Right.
And I'm gonna make sure that she's gonna look fucking bling bling.
Right.
Everybody's gonna fucking be like, oh my God, so how would you get at that time? It's just fine.
Right.
But I have to put your life into consideration, and where you're gonna go in life and your journey and shit like that. So if I don't do that, I'm not doing my part as a tattooer. Or just a sentient being, just a human being, I have this ability, that I can give you this service, but do you really want this? Is something that you've really thought about? Did you really sit yourself down and really think this thing, think it through? Or again, is it a fad? You see Post Malone with his fucking face, you see Lil Wayne with his shit done,
right?
This person, that person, this, this star. You don't want to go with trendy fads and shit.
Now, when it comes to this stuff, like now, say somebody that you're talking to comes into the shop and is like, "Hey, I've been thinking about doing this tattoo." Do you give them a time frame of how, like, hey, you're thinking about this? Take another 6 months, take another year, try to figure out what you really want. Because I know when I started getting tattoos, you know what I mean. Like I don't regret any of the tattoos that I have, because it's a part of my journey in that lifestyle, you know what I mean? So I'll never cover up them old shits, you know what I mean? Any of the Huck Spalding stuff. My very first one was a Grim Reaper, you know what I mean? I'm not the dealer to death, for fuck's sake. It was like I was cool. Look at it, I got a fucking red, Grim Reaper on my arm. But do you, I regret kind of using up some of the best real estate on my arms for stuff that could have been, you guys as artists have grown so much since I was a kid, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they're real legit fucking artists, man. It's an art form now. It's not just flash on the wall, you know what I mean? There's some motherfucker drew in California that's getting sent out everywhere, or New York for that matter, you know what I'm saying?
Sailor Jerry!
That's what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that anymore, man. There are legit motherfucking artists. Like, you guys are putting some serious work into this stuff. Do you give people a time frame where you say, hey, man, think that shit over, man? Think about what you do.
Depending on the tattoo and where they want to put it, let's say if it's a face tattoo or, just any tattoo in general. And for me, tattoo designs, whatever, is subjective. I learned that I can't criticize someone or give somebody shit because they want a certain style or something that to me looks stupid or is completely dumb. To them, it means the world. Who am I to fucking judge? First and foremost, right? That's not my thing. But I always ask, like, if I find that it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of stupid, then I'm like, all right, how long have you thought about this tattoo? I always ask that, how long?
Yeah.
Have you really seriously considered getting this tattoo? Now, if they say a year, 2 years, 3, then I'm like, all right, let's do it. But if it's like, no, if it's like, impulsive and a spur of the moment, I'm like, you know what? I would love to do this tattoo for you, honestly, I don't feel comfortable doing it because you haven't put too much thought into this.
Right.
And it's not that I'm scared of doing it. I will do it for you.
Right.
But make sure that you're absolutely 110, not 100%, but 110% sure that you really want this on your body for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Again, that's my job as a tattooer, and I got to play fucking psychiatrist. I'm like, all right, we're going to go back in 1994. And say, okay, so at this time you want this, all right? Oh, yeah, but back then you were really undecisive. You were very young. You were very stupid. And you're not that much older and mature. So let's think.
Point on this doll where he touched you.
Exactly. And you know, being in the industry, you know that you have to be the psychiatrist sometime. Yeah. You have to have that common sense. Like, yeah, you know, it's spur of the moment, it's impulsive, you know, you're in that moment, you're in the now, you're just thinking about that, but you have to go inside their psyche. I'm like, all right, why are they getting this?
Right.
You know, what was the trigger that really made this? You know, you really want to go deep into their psyche and figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's not our job to do that, but you know what? Out of respect to my art and my industry and to your body and your life journey, I gotta ask these questions. And if I feel that, you know what, that you shouldn't get it, I'm gonna tell you should, dude. Yeah, take your time. If you really want this tattoo, sit on it for a couple of years, man.
Dude,
I'm gonna rephrase something that Rihanna says all the fucking time. You have all of your life to get tattooed. You have your whole life to get tattooed.
Right.
You know, and again, going back to what you said about the real estate, getting that Reaper, and you're like, man, I am good real estate. What the fuck, man?
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I need to cover up my Reaper, man.
Yeah. Right.
And you know, you don't want to go through that not denial, but just going back in that regret.
Yeah.
You know, and say like, oh fuck, I could have got this dope piece of my fucking arm. I got this fucking cheesy Reaper. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you really have to really get inside their head and really, you know, try to figure out.
Yeah, dude.
Have them tell you exactly, you know, whether they really want it or not.
Back in the day, man, the places that I got tattooed, man, they weren't having these conversations back then, man. You know what I mean? Because it was like, I feel like it was a journey for a lot of people, man. When I started seeing people have tattoos everywhere, I was like, man, you know, like my daughter, at 14 is going, Dad, I know what I want to get. And I'm like, why do you need to get anything? And she goes,
so you're 14 years old, you should be thinking about some other shit than that, right?
Well, she's like, you know.
And you can't say nothing because you're heavily tattooed. You're like, yeah, you can't get, I got tattoos.
No, I just tell her this, man. You know, like if you want to, I totally understand, you know, but think about it, what you want to do, you know. And the things that she said is she wants to get things that symbolize me and her mom and her grandma and her, you know, things like that.
Which are the awesome tattoos.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. But my whole thing was like, you could stand out by not having any. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be you and have your personality and who she is, because she's like us, bro. She can talk and she can fucking, you know what I mean? She's funny. She's charisma, man. Like nobody's
She's like
business.
her daddy.
Yeah,
like
man.
her daddy.
She's got charisma. And you know, you don't need, she's pretty enough. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
She's beautiful. My God, she's beautiful. Absolutely. And that's another, not to cut you off, but that's another thing. Like even my clients ask me, they're like, you know, you're a tattooer. Why aren't you heavily tattooed? Yeah, I got a sleeve and my club tattoos and stuff, but I'm not heavily tattooed.
Right.
And again, it just goes back. One, I'm a handsome motherfucker. I'm a fucking gorgeous individual. All right. I'm a beautiful sentient being.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Don't let
sir.
all you motherfuckers, when I say my fat jokes about myself, no, it's just being real. I know how fat I am. Okay. I love myself. I know how sexy. I don't need all that art. But yeah, I'm an artist. I like to express myself, hence my sleeve.
Yeah.
But you know what? I like the journey. I want to make sure that this lasts the rest of my life instead of like, you know, most tattooers. By the time they're like 25, dude, they're fucking covered. And they're like, oh, well, I got to get this lasered off, or I got to get this, you know, covered up. But I'm, you know, whatever, to each his own. That's your journey. You know what? That's what you guys, me, I'm more selective. And being a tattooer, I have friends that are dying to tattoo me just for free, you know?
Right.
Because I've tattooed them.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know what I want. But there's nothing wrong getting with your daughter and explaining that to your daughter. There's nothing wrong with being yourself, right? And not having art on you, which again, that's subjective and it's a beautiful thing as well. But don't forget the beauty that you have within. That shines out through all your tattoos. Yeah. It doesn't matter what tattoos you have. Your character and your soul will shine regardless. If you're a shitty person, bro, you can have fucking Disney characters. You could be a fucking prick.
Yeah.
And you can have fucking demonic and heavy fucking Paul Booth shit and look fucking all, you know, all that great stuff, and it could be a fucking sweetheart.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, well, I didn't expect that from that person.
Right?
But you never know.
That's
But you know
mostly
what?
the case. That's the case with all of the people that we hang with too. You know what I mean? It's
my
like
God, all the
everybody
fucking
looks
time.
evil as shit, and then you know there's some of the best, most educated, intelligent fucking people. Don't get me wrong. There's some ignorant motherfuckers too, but at the same time, there's some of the nicest, intelligent folks you'd ever fucking meet. They're loyal people too, man. You know?
No, exactly, and that's why I never judge anybody by their aesthetic. I always judge everybody by your actions.
Right.
Your words don't mean shit to me. Your
Right.
actions mean everything.
Right.
That means everything. So you know what? Your tattoos, yeah, you know, your body's the canvas. You want to, you know, express yourself, or just, you know, you want to just get your shit covered up, whatever. But your tattoos it'll never mean anything to me.
Right.
It's who you are as a person, who you are as a sentient being, who you are as a soul. I care mostly about. If you're a shitty person, I'm gonna tell you straight that you're a fucking shitty person.
Right.
Well, I mean, who am I to judge? But if I see it, I'm gonna call you on it. But if you're a beautiful soul, you don't need tattoos, bro. You don't
Right.
need that shit.
I agree.
That is gonna shine far
Right.
more than any tattoo that you have on your fucking body.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that aesthetic with that tattoo is gonna make you look a lot brighter.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you feel more confident,
Yeah.
just like how people get cosmetic for surgery and modifications to
Yeah.
feel better about themselves. But remember, your soul, who you are, you know,
Yeah.
you know, how you process shit. That means everything in the world. That's how people see you.
Yeah.
And you cannot forget that. That's
Yeah.
you. It's
Love,
you own-
man.
you
You
own
got to.
that.
Yep. You got to send the love out, man. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
All that
Oh,
love, surround yourself with love too, and respect, man. You know, you gotta have that around you at all times, because it's easy to fall off and get caught up with a bunch of drama and a bunch of bullshit that you don't want to get involved in, and step back and go, well, how the fuck did I get here? Like, I just want to be with those people over there that are happy and having fun and do with it. You know what I mean? Like that victim mentality, man. I noticed, you know, after, you know, getting out of the drugs and all the bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that was the thing, man. I just look back like, man, I always thought everybody was against me. You know what? I was against me. You know what I'm saying?
Say that. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
You said, look back.
Yeah.
And remember, it's your past.
Yeah.
It's not who you are now.
Yeah, man. Fuck
That's
yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Remember, one thing everybody has to remember, that time does not exist.
Right.
That's a man-made concept. Everything that happens now is for now.
Yeah.
You can't go back into the past. You can't go into the future. What's now is now.
Yep.
Always focus on the now and the person that you want to be right now.
Yep.
That is the biggest thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? You come from a broken home. You know, you had some childhood trauma. You have all that. Do not use that as a catalyst to be a shitty person in the
Right.
now, and don't
Yep.
bring that energy forward to someone who doesn't believe it.
Right.
Whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, a business relationship, never bring that shit forward. If it's something positive, a positive aspect of yourself from the past, you're like, I was like that. I was that person. Oh my God. Well, be that person now.
Right.
It's in you. It's
Right.
always there.
Right.
Be it now. Don't be shitty. You know what? I always preach it with my clients will always agree to this, because I always preach this shit.
Yeah.
It's the paradox of life.
Right.
You can't have one without the other. You have to have both.
Yep.
I don't give a fuck if you're a namaste, oh, love and peace, everything's great. Well, I collect stones, I have sage and Palo Santo. You know, life is not like that 24/7, motherfucker. All right,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a time where you're gonna fucking stub your toe on the goddamn coffee table, and you're gonna be fucking. Give yourself that time to get fucking pissed and become a demon,
Right.
and then let it go.
Yeah. Right.
Let it go.
That's the hardest part, right?
Yeah, it's letting that shit go.
Yeah.
And then you know what? If you're fucking just a miserable fuck and you have that one glimmer of light that often shines from the source energy, and you're like, I feel great. I'm not so satanic and diabolical now. I feel great. Live in that moment.
Right.
You need that.
Right.
That's that paradox. It's that balance. You need that shit.
Yeah.
So it's good to be both
Yeah.
at the same time. You're
I agree.
human.
I agree with you, man, 100%. And speaking about relationships Adam wanted to say, he said, Mr. Danny, forgive me for prying, and he said, it's not my intention to disrespect, but do you have a lady in your life? And I said, if so, how did you meet her, and how did you get her to be your girl?
Well, ladies, let me just tell you, and Adam as well, I'm single as fuck. I am single and ready to mingle. No, I'm not ready to mingle. No, I'm not ready for that. No, I'm single. I was in a relationship about 2 years ago, and that didn't pan out. So as of right now, I'm just focusing on my career and just, doing things for myself and not being so
What kind of
adamant.
girls are you into, Dan?
What kind of girls that I'm into? I love women that are, well, obviously, they're voluptuous, have nice hips, tits, butt. I mean, the typical stuff most men like, obviously. But if she's skinny, she's skinny. I love her. I love skinny girls. I love fit girls. I love chubby girls. It doesn't matter. I just love females in general. All women are fucking beautiful in their own fucking right.
I agree with you.
And honestly, there's some chicks that can be skinny and but they'll just be beautiful souls. They'll be beautiful people. And I always look at that first, then the physical. Yes, the aesthetics play a big part in the chemistry.
But they gotta smell good too.
Oh, they gotta smell. Oh my god, immaculate. No fish smell. No, no fromunda and no Frito Lays, please. We want kosher, nice and clean. Okay. I'm a big boy. I take a shower and get on the phones and make sure I'm nice and smelling good. And every time I tattoo, so please, I like that in the same respect.
Yeah.
But yeah, women, it doesn't matter. I mean, you see the women that I send you on the messenger all the time, and they could go from like thick hottie chicks to be voluptuous, like Stefania Ferrario.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
My goodness! You see the ones today? You see the ones with the strawberry dress today? Oh goodness, man!
Bro, of course.
Dude, you turned me on to that shit. We're like, here, thank you, or you're welcome. You give that shit absolutely. To me. You're welcome.
And you know what? And not to say that they're,
Hold up a second though. I got to say this. Damn you for making me lick my motherfucking screen earlier today, by the way. I'll just tell you this. Danny is the best at finding these gems. These are, I mean, him and I had a conversation about muscle women, right? And how much I really like, he was like, bro, man, you got, wait till I show you this. And then it was like a waterfall of beautiful muscle bound women. And I was like, good Lord. And then you send me Stefania, right? So you sent me that and you were like, this is what I'm talking about. Like full figure, curvy, like beautiful Italian girl, beautiful blonde. She looks like a mixture of
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, Marilyn. Curvy like Betty Page type. You know what I mean?
Yes,
she's got that really like old. Her body changes with what she wears. You barely. I mean, models have a tendency to do that. They form to the stuff that they get and they make the shit look good. But this woman looks different in every single thing she wears, and it is like you can't really tell where her hips start or end. It's just oh my goodness, man. She's just so. Oh man,
yeah, she's beautiful. She's absolutely fucking beautiful.
I became like a top fan on there. You're like, oh, I see you're all of a sudden top fan now, and shit. You're like,
I'm a star. It's a great show. I'm like, this motherfucker trying to take my internet wife. Don't be talking to her, bro. She's mine. You married, bro. I'm a single motherfucker. I think she's mine, man. Shit,
man.
Take my woman.
That shit is hilarious because I wait for it, dude. You know what I mean? It's like a ray of sunshine in the Facebook nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
All of the muscle chicks that have appeared on my Instagram is like, I'm sitting next to my wife and I'll open one up and just go, like this. And I always think, did Danny see this? And I'll send it to you. Oh man, I've been following her for years.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. But see that dynamic with your wife, she understands you look at chicks or whatever, and it's nothing because obviously you love her, you live with her, and you absolutely adore your wife. Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with just looking at the menu.
Yeah.
And like me when I was in my my recent relationship, if I did that, she would always think that I was trying to compare her to them, and I'm like, no, I love you for who you are.
Right.
This is eye candy. That's all it is. Yeah. I don't want to fuck her. I will never get a chance to fuck her.
Right.
I fuck you, and I love fucking you,
right.
Or making love to you.
Right.
That's what a lot of females, especially when I post them on Facebook, and I get mixed reactions with females.
Sure.
And I get. Because I'll post, obviously, Stefania. Everybody's like, she's gorgeous. She has natural beauty. She's very elegant. She's very classic. She's full figured, like a woman's supposed to be.
Yes.
And I get that reaction. And then I get the other stuff, especially when I post women that are in the fitness industry, whether they're fitness models or they're in the figure, which is a little bit more muscular.
Yeah.
And me being in fitness since I was a kid, I love women that are muscular, that have muscle tone. And I think that's beautiful as well. Now, when you get to the women that are IFBB pros that are fucking Olympia size and they're as big as I am, then I'm like, all right, I see the beauty, but that's a little too much.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I know guys like that shit as well.
Yeah.
But I like women that look like fucking beautiful women, but they're like, you know what? I'm a woman, right? I'm very elegant. I'm very soft, but dude, I could throw some weight around.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Who's the
CrossFit
CrossFit chick that's big?
Danny Spiegel.
Spiegel, that's what it is. Yeah.
Danny Spiegel has a gymnast body because her past is obviously in gymnastics, but she has the aesthetic. She has thick legs, nice butt. She's not heavy on top. She's basically flat chested.
Yeah.
But it's just her face, her hair, and how she carries herself. That's what makes her beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the muscle tone as well.
Sure.
But it's just her personality. That's why I follow her.
Yeah.
And it's not just the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's actually following them, see their work ethic, their hard work ethic when they're doing CrossFit or they're doing bodybuilding or they're doing powerlifting. And I see that because I can relate to that. I can resonate with that. And I know how hard it is for women to gain that kind of stature because they're women and they don't have as much testosterone as we do.
Right.
So I know the time and effort that they put into that.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. You put that time in and your body looks gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not just the curvy women. I follow a lot of runway models that are just like, they're skinny like this, but it's just they're.
Who was the Twitter girl you sent me yesterday? The real fair skinned chick.
Her name is RL RuneScape GR, something like that.
Yep, on Twitter. All you said was "you're welcome."
Yeah,
you sent me that link.
I have a thing. I've always had a thing for women that have that pasty porcelain white skin, and that jet black hair, that fucking raven hair, glasses. Bro, dude, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah,
but
I like gingers too, though. I'm a ginger guy. I love gingers too, man.
And to answer Adam's question, what's my type of woman and all that? It's a wide spectrum, dude. I love women for who they are. I love gingers with their fucking crunched up fucking cornflake skin, pale as hell.
I'll kiss every freckle. Fuck it. Let's get
no milk. But then I like my Spanish women, my Puerto Rican women, my Dominicans, that are just tan and just fucking beautiful. My Latinas, my Brazilians, Eva Andressa, and what do you call it? Vivian Winkler, from fucking Brazil. I mean, they're fucking beautiful as well. So I can send you, and I've done it. Every shape, every color across the fucking board.
Yep.
It's just I have a love for women. I'm enamored with them, and I like to share it with my brothers. I'm like, bro, you think that chick is hot, but check out this boo boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check her out, and that's just, appreciating it. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to fuck her. Then, sending a disgusting comment like, yo, I'll bust that ass, yo. Give me one night, yo. I swear to God, I'll gush up all up in your shit, yo. And it's like, and I see that. I'm like, this is why I don't have a girlfriend. Cause you know what? I have a love and respect for women that I'm not going to fucking disrespect you on social media, let alone in person.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even Stefani and stuff. I don't even comment. It's just like a rose, right? A beautiful flower.
Yep.
You see it, you admire it, never pick it. You pick it, it dies. And all these men, all they do is just pick. Same goes for women with guys.
Yep.
You pick it, that it just falls apart.
Yep.
So with me, I just look from afar, and that's what social media is for. It's to look from afar, you know what? Oh gosh, she's beautiful.
Yep.
That brightened up my day. Like, later on tonight, I'm gonna have a session with my hand and my mistress. Woohoo!
Which one of you guys want to go first?
I'm like, bro, it's what time? What's up? We doing this? We need lube or not? I'll spit. What's up?
I told this Asian dude at work the other day. I was like, dude, I almost had a gangbang. And he was like, what? I was like, I started. I was waiting for other people to show up, but nobody showed up.
It was just me by myself, man.
I was handling it. I
had another stroke. Come on. Grabbing your balls and shit. Like, come on. All of it's coming out, bitch. That's some good shit right now.
The tip twister.
Oh, dude, seriously. But yeah, go back to Adam's question. Yeah, I'm single. Not really looking for anything. I'm just being a 40-year-old man. I can't, holler at any chick. Man, what's up, boo boo? Yeah, you're a creep, my guy. You're funny. You're like an old man. I'm like, okay, I just can't say hello. Okay, all
right.
You know, so I mean, that's just my thing. Yeah, you know what? I have the personality. I could bag up any woman if I honestly truly wanted to. But it's like they get enough of that shit, you know, in their inboxes with dick pics and all that stuff. It's like, you know what? For me, yeah, the aesthetic is very important. The chemistry is absolutely important. But to go that far and be that disrespectful to women, I've never been that dude. You know, my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, they raised me right. You know, always respect the woman. You know, always tell her the truth. And I'm old school in that sense.
Yep.
You know, but I mean, if a bitch come out her fucking face, I'm gonna tell you, you shut the fuck up. You know.
Right.
It's that again, that paradox.
Yep.
You know, but I love my fucking women, and obviously, you know, I send you pics, I send Gil pics, and you know,
yeah,
everybody. But...
Did Gil send you that train pic yesterday of
yes.
the donkey and the train?
Yes.
I said, did he tell you what I said to him?
No.
I was like, damn, smashing that ass.
No pun intended.
Oh, dude. He be sending me some crazy shit, dude. He's funny as hell,
he's
dude.
Awesome. Fucking Gil is fucking anything from you and Gil, and I can't send the same thing I send to like Gil sends to me because I know he sent it to you.
Yeah.
So it's like I know Greg saw it. I'm not gonna say nothing. He saw it, and you know what? You probably sent it to me. I'm like, I know Gil sent it to me. This is great. I appreciate this shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's funny. That's the way Gooch and I are too, you know.
Oh, I send Gooch things once in a while, but he's another Sagittarian, but he's more low key.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really, you know, I'm not real close with Gooch. I love Gooch. I think he's a fantastic person. He's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't send as much shit to him.
Oh.
Because I don't, he'll probably give me like the laughing face, the quick emoji.
Just keep sending it. Let me tell you this: keep sending it. He's single now too, so you're helping him with the spank bank, dude. That's what I'm saying.
But it's all about reciprocation. If you hit me quick, you're like, oh my god, who's that? Like, send him the link. Hold on.
Send him that yoga one you sent me today, dude. I'm telling you what, he'll be like, oh, thank you very much. Because there was a couple times where I was like, hey, camera guy, you're in the wrong fucking angle again. This is like 3 times. I watched that thing all the way through too, by the way.
Oh hell yeah! You got to. You can't get
something there,
like that and not watch it.
My buddy looks over my shoulder. You know, it's all yoga music in the background, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching. I'm just going, damn. And my buddy's like, holy shit, what is that? I was like, it's so calming. It's just so calming. That's all I kept saying. It's so fucking calming.
What is that like to like? Is the music is very calming, and then the way she poses her body. Yeah, you can get a little raunchy, but still, a woman's body is so. I can't even fucking explain it. It's just the way it's built. It's just so beautiful.
Right.
And they could be doing the most like, oh, look at me, my armpit smells. Oh, and you're like, oh my god, I'm sexy, and it was just your armpit. You know.
Yeah.
But it's just the allure. They're just beautiful creatures, and I fucking adore the shit out of them, dude. I do.
He says, Adam says, Danny, you don't look like a day over 28. Also, Mr. Greg, you don't look like a day over 34. Dude, you need to fix your glasses, man, because my shit, dude, I look busted, this old ass fucking.
You look good, bro. Come on, that's the Mexican right there, bro.
Dude, that picture you found, dude, what was that? Everybody was laughing, dude. I showed that video to dudes at work, and they were like, man, I love how he did that shit. Right when he said your name, you like overlapped them and then went off. I was rolling, dude. Now, I have to say, you set the standard for everybody else. Anybody else watching this show, now what Danny did by making a video and making it silly like that, everybody's got to hit that bar every time now.
Well, I mean, me knowing your personality, because we're very, very similar.
Yeah.
And I know your sense of humor, so it's like obviously first and foremost is the plug for your podcast.
Yeah.
So we're showing support, for what you're doing, and which I think is fucking awesome. Which I should start getting my own shit going. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that, and obviously, and I'm just gonna just say everything and put the comedic influence as well, because we're both funny guys.
Yeah.
We like to have fun, especially when we're together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, if I don't do this, I'm not doing Greg any fucking justice, bro. I gotta do something so people can see that it's not just serious metal talk and man, I pay for it's you know what, it has a time and place, but also, you know what, you want that personality to come out, and especially with yours and mine. So I was like, dude, this fucking podcast is gonna be fucking crazy.
So
and if nobody laughed at this shit right now, you have no fucking soul.
Yeah,
because we're some funny motherfuckers, man. We know how to have fun, and fuck you if you don't think so.
Oh, that's good shit right there, man. So with the, I just lost my whole train of thought right there. I just lost my whole train of thought. That was like, just fucking.
All I have to say is you're welcome. Come on, bring on the questions, people.
I don't even. Yeah, fucking. If anybody wants to ask any questions in the the chat, please do. I see Adam's saying about gray hairs at 34. He says you guys look great. Of course we do.
Of course, you know what? The thing is, this is the element. This is how you stay alive. I'm gonna not alive. That's bullshit. We're alive now, but this is how you stay young. Now, the reason people like us stay young is because we don't take life too serious. We laugh when we need to laugh. You know what? This COVID stuff, yeah, it's horrible. A lot of our friends and family and loved ones have perished because of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But please don't remember that the element of living life. Don't forget to live. You know what? This times are hard, and the only thing that honestly that puts a little small band-aid on there, or just wipes a little bit, is that it's humor. Whether it's dark or whatever kind of humor you have, laugh about life, because you know what? When your loved ones cross over, they're not dead. They're there, but just in a different form, in a different realm. So they're still with you, but they don't want to see you in turmoil. They don't want to see you suffering. They want to see you live, laugh, and love. So don't forget that key element. And this, again, I'm gonna go back to that. We're sentient beings, and we live to love and be compassionate and this connection. They want to see that when they're on the other side. And same thing when we cross over and we have our daughters, our sons, hopefully never our wives or anything like that. But when we cross over, we're going to see the same thing. We're like, fuck, I know they're going through so much shit right now because I'm not there. But you don't want them to see them suffering. You're like, no, you still have so much life to live. Please live. Go do your thing. I'm there. I'm here to protect. I'm here to still love you. Your thoughts are what brings me here towards you. And if you want to talk to me, just speak out. Say my name and just speak out. I'll listen to you. And I know a lot of that's going through a little touchy area in spirituality, because a lot of people don't believe in the afterlife. But remember, we're immortal souls. Our souls are immortal. We don't die. Right. Our physical body dies. It probably goes right back to Mother Earth.
Sure.
But our souls are still there. It's just again another form.
Yeah. And
it's another realm. But we're still there. And we, you know what? And this is why we come back to live in this earth, is because this human experience is addicting. We're like, oh my God, I didn't learn that. Fuck, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna come back in a different form, and I'm gonna do this. And the people that we connect with, right, like me and Greg, we hit it off right off the bat. You know why? That's considered soulmates, right? Because we made a contract before coming back into this world. Right, bro, I'm gonna see you at this time, this year, and then we're gonna pick up where we left off. Yep. And we're gonna that's what soulmates are. So people that come into your life, those are your soulmates. Right. It doesn't have to be romantic.
The familiars,
it's people that you've connected with in other lifetimes that you come back and you're like, dude, all right, you're going to do this. All right, I'm going to be here, but we're going to meet up here. We're going to link back up and we're going to do this. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll see you then. Bye. Yep. And then we come back and we do it. This is why, we have deja vu. We have all these other things. But the connection, people, our loved ones pass, and it's hard. Believe me, my father, my grandfather, passed on, and they were the biggest influence in my life as far as male figures. And you know what? There's songs that comes up, and I know my father put that fucking song, and I'm like, you motherfucker, and I'm over here bawling. Right. And I feel him. And I'm like, man, you got me all emotional, man. Right. And the worst part was actually a recent. I'm gonna run this by real quick. I was tattooing, and I was tattooing my client, and it was a good session, having fun, and all of a sudden I got focused, and all of a sudden I just felt my father. And he was talking to me. I have gifts, okay? I have gifts. I'm not fucking psychic or anything like that, but he was talking to me, and he made me fucking cry while I was tattooing. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Oh, come on. And I had to lie to my client. I was like, see, this is what happens when I focus too much and I don't blink. And I was like, okay, I paid that off. Okay, that's great. But I felt that. But you know what? Our loved ones do show themselves, whether it's something you find on the floor, or it's a song that comes out, a scent.
There's something that I try to relay to people that I've kind of learned dealing with death, and I've seen a lot of it in my life. You know what I mean? People that are very close to me at a young age. I think in my high school, from knowing so many people in my life. Being a Sagittarius, like you said, you're very social with so many people, and you try to.
We're the philosophers of the zodiac.
You try to touch people in deeper than just hey man, we're friends. Whatever. You try to touch them deeper. I try to relay this to people, and what I've learned from death and experiencing death so much is that they're like you said, they're never gone. They're always with you. Like your bloodline, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, those people that instilled these things into you, be it good, right, good and evil, right and wrong, that paradox,
all skills, morals,
all of that stuff, right? So what I've always thought is that that blood pumps through your veins. It'll always be there. Those morals, that fiber, that thing that they gave you, that the roots of who you are, and you'll never change because those roots are so deep from when you're a little kid till you get to our age in our 40s and close to 50. That type of shit. You look back on that stuff, man. And all of that sadness, and you know what I mean. For many years after they pass, you get to that anniversary time when of their passing, and I see so many people shut down from that, and I'm like, man, what you need to do is you need to celebrate that day, to make that day a better day, to remember the celebration of who they were and what they meant to you and what they mean to you now, and what out of those roots and that moral and all of that fiber that they gave you, what are you going to pass on to the people? Because some people that I know don't have children. You know what I'm saying? They don't have children yet.
I don't have children.
But at the same time, man, you and what you said on this podcast tonight, you know what I mean? You're relaying this to all of the people that have watched this podcast, who have subscribed. The 200 people, thank you very much to the 200 people that have subscribed to this podcast. I hit 200 this week. But my whole thing is that you're putting that energy out to these people. You don't know them, you know what I'm saying? But you're giving them a spark. Adam, he's one of them cats. He said it a few times, and I just hadn't had a chance to say anything. He's like, you're the boss, Dan. He's saying, let me see if I can find it here. He's like, damn it, I'm going to have to go back up.
We talk too much.
He's like, you're a rock star. He's saying you're the boss. You're a rock star. Mad respect from Minnesota.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Adam. You're a rock star too.
He's a good dude, man.
This with us,
you should fucking.
I appreciate that.
You should see him if you get a chance, man. Or Adam, if you can, send him some of your material. Let Dan check that stuff out. He's a fantastic musician, great voice, great skill, talented dude. But what I was trying to get at is that, I have to give those skills and that love to my children, and like try to teach them how to deal with trials and tribulations through their life, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sit down and I will tell my daughter, certain things like, hey, I know you're at 14 right now, and you think, hey, this old fucking guy that's giving me this lecture right now, he don't know what he's talking about. He's old. You can't put me in your shoes, right? But I tell her how many times I'm like, and this is a perfect example of what I said to her. I was like, you're 14, your sister's 22. I'm like, do you think your sister makes mistakes? Do you think she's a dumbass? And she looked at me kind of puzzled, and she was like, yeah, kind of. And I go, okay, so there's 8 years between you, right? Now, do you know anybody in their 30s? And she couldn't think of anybody. And I said, but do you know anybody in their 40s? And she's like, no. And I said, well, I'm 48. You know me, right? Mom, she's 40, 45, her. And I'm like, do you think that there's a lot of time in between the time you hit your 20s to the time you hit your 40s that you're not going to learn a lot of lessons in between in there, And paying those life lessons and those little cracks to people, those little tweaks to people, and getting them to understand what it is to be a sentient being, to give and receive that love, to put it out there into the universe, you know what I mean? To express that to someone, to have them recognize it in the chat room or smile or like, you know what I mean? We feel this all the time, man. Like you said, the gifts, that means that you can feel what other people can fucking feel. You can feel their vibe before anybody knows what's up. And you're like, are you doing all right? You okay? And they can for sure read you when you turn that corner, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nobody likes to see you angry. Nobody likes to see you upset. They need to give you your space to do your thing, to shake it off, have a cigar, have a drink, have whatever you need to do to cool out. But they feel it. You read them, they read you. You're all one. Everybody's one. And putting it out there in the world, man, it is enlightening and uplifting to me to see. That's why I connect with people on this podcast, because we talked about where you came from musically, where you came from as an artist, where you came from, you know what I mean? And the people in Minnesota, they didn't know you before we sat down, but now they know what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What I see
absolutely.
is the same. It's like looking in the mirror, man. You know what I mean? Not even look wise, because like my wife was like, "You guys could be brothers," and I'm like, "We are. We're the same type of person, man.
Absolutely. Yeah,
The same type
absolutely.
of person, creative to the fullest extent, focused. When we find something that we love, we focus in on it, man. The tie-dye shit, I don't know where the fuck I started tie-dyeing. I just wanted to do it. Once I found it, it was like being able to take color and electricity and throwing it in a shirt and then shaking it out and going, holy shit, I did that, And people going, dude, I want one of those. Let me buy one of those. Here you go, man. Take this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel you, man, 100%, man. With everything that you said tonight, I feel you on that shit, man. And
Now going back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just hope that other people do too. You know what I'm saying?
But what I was going to say is this is the reason why we live.
Yeah.
This connection that we're talking about. This, we're trying to get to know somebody on a different level, or seeing them through a different light, through you or through me. And always remember that whenever you meet somebody, it's always a reflection of yourself. Always remember, it's always a reflection. If you see some negative aspect to that person, remember you have that as well.
You're picking up on it. Yep.
Yeah, there's something that you're picking up, and you're like, oh, I hate that about that person. Like, but do I have that? Yeah, you do have that. That's why you recognize it. You're recognizing yourself, and vice versa. They're seeing it too. They're seeing the love that I give, and they're like, oh, I have that too. Absolutely, you have that, dude. It's there. You can obtain it. You can access it anytime that you want. And you know what? And when you start recognizing that, obviously it's called AKA spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
We start seeing life for more than what you see on TV or what you hear in music. But actually experience the meat and potatoes of life. You're like, oh shit, dude. I feel what that motherfucker said, or I understand what this person is doing.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. So whenever you're looking at somebody or you're talking shit about somebody, remember that's always a reflection of yourself. So don't be quick to pass judgment, dude.
Yeah.
Because that judgment, you're like, damn, if I'm seeing this shit about that person, like, fuck, what about me though? Do I have that attribute?
Most of the time, I'm just clowning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm a clown, dude.
But being Sagittarius, we're the philosophers of the zodiac. We experience life through other people and asking questions.
Yeah.
We're fire. Therefore, we set that fire in other people as well with our knowledge, or with our wisdom.
Yeah.
But we like to have fun while we're doing that. That's why we have so many projects, right? And that we can't stick to one, because one stimulates us in a certain way. This one stimulates us this way. And so our heads are always on a swivel. And we're like, oh my God, I got to do that. Oh my God, I got to do that. But when you get older, that's when it goes like, it comes into more focus. It's like an aperture in a camera. The wider it is, you're like, oh shit. But the smaller it gets, there's more focus and there's more detail, and everything is, seen more.
Right.
So therefore, obviously it's a learning process, but always remember that it's a reflection. Everybody's a reflection of who you are in some aspect and in some degree, no matter what.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. So Adam had asked me a couple podcasts back about gatekeepers and gatekeeping, about not allowing someone to move past into another realm of, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to music, there's certain people that get to a certain level with music, and they will have, bands that are underneath them that slowly want to move to that level, and people will hold them back by saying, you're not to that level yet. You're not ready. You know what I mean? They kind of do that. Now he asked me he said, have you ever dealt with any Bible thumpers? And that's what he asked. And he says, Bible thumpers are the equivalent to the gatekeepers in the music scene, is what he feels, what he's saying here. And he said, Danny, are there any gatekeepers in the tattooing?
Gatekeepers are everywhere, dude. Doesn't matter what aspect of life, there's always there. With me personally, my father was a pastor. My grandfather was a bishop in the Christian faith. I utterly despise Christianity and religion in general. Hence why I play black metal. Satanic is, it's going against the grain. It doesn't matter what you do in life, dude. You're going to be judged for what you do,
right?
And for what you believe in. Did I disown my father and my grandfather for, The faith they follow, absolutely not. I still love them. Did I follow it? No. Fuck it. I can't stand religion at all. In any
What was
aspect.
what was the turning point from that? Being so like in obviously you're surrounded by it as a child, and that gets pushed on you. As a child, you get the fear, you get the regret, and the they instill that fear inside of you. Like, if you don't do this, you're going to see this. If you don't do that, you're going to do that. If you don't say this, how many ever times? And, if you don't go to church on Sunday, if you don't read the Bible, if you don't know the word of what they're saying, it's being forced on your fucking throat every single turn. So what was the point where you were like, I can't do this shit?
That was actually very early in my life. That was probably when I was about 5 or 6 years old, when I was in Sunday school. And it just so happens that my father was a Sunday school teacher, coordinator. So he was like the head honcho of the Sunday schools, whether it's for the teens or the adults or the children. And I was in class. I was in Sunday school this one time, and I started asking the teacher questions. I'm like, why this? Why that? That doesn't make sense. And of course, you get the typical rebuttal was, oh, you can't say that. That's blasphemy. You can't ask questions about that. And I'm like, I'm like, why not? So I kept forcing the subject, and she got mad, so she kicked me out of class. And I just sat
Common response, right? Common response.
Yeah, exactly. So I sat out there. I was like, what the fuck did I do? I just asked the question, and my father came down. And then she's yelling at my father, saying, oh, he was being disrespectful. He was, asking these questions in vain and all this other stuff. And I was like, no, it wasn't. And I was just pleading my case, 5, 6 years old. And I'm just thinking, oh, daddy, man, I don't want to get my ass whooped when I get home,
right,
or let alone right there.
Right.
And then, and then she looks at me. She's like, tú eres un demonio. You're bad. Seeing that I was a demon. And I got fucking mad. I was like, you fucking cunt. And we're talking about when I was that young.
Right.
So that was when it was like, oh, you're going to call me out? Oh, no. And my father was such a fucking great man, because as religious as he was, and as stern, and as everything was, to the grain, and also being a Virgo, so it was highly detailed, and everything had to be like this and clean,
right.
And all that. He understood. He was like, yes, people are like that, just let her say her stuff, and, blah, blah, blah. But again, since I was 5, 6 years old, I despised religion. I was like, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? Right. Oh, because a book says that we can't. And then obviously when I got older, I was doing my research, because I was going into Satanism. I was going into the LaVey stuff, and Aleister Crowley stuff, and even the Bible itself. I'm like, this fucking hypocritical fucking bullshit.
Right.
And I went across the board. I went into the LaVey Satanism stuff, and I went into the Aleister Crowley stuff,
right, and
especially fucking organized religion and the Kabbalah and all that stuff. I'm like, you fucking oppressive motherfuckers.
Right.
And then getting a little older, and learning about my native heritage, being Taino Indian from Boriquén, from Puerto Rico, and the Spaniards, when they came over, they did the same thing. Oh, in the name of God, you have to follow this, and you have to follow that, and they killed my people.
Right.
And that angered me even more. And I was like, I fucking hate religion and the shit that they've done. Yes, I'm not going to say that religion has not helped a lot of people. I'm not going to say that religion hasn't, saved people. These people found they were going through shit. They found Jesus. And it helped their lives. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but that's natural spirituality.
Yeah, it kind of gives them the direction to find
exactly.
It gives them strength. That's it.
Yes, and I never take that away from anybody. But when you're fucking saying, well, Luke chapter it says this, and I'll say, you know what I say to that? Light it, burn. Fuck you. That's what I say to it.
Right. My mom is very, very spiritual. She's very, very religious. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she gets real mad at me because I dabble on that. I'm on the edge all the time, because I don't understand why, if and this is what I said to her. I posted a bunch of memes. They were silly. You know what I mean? Jesus on the cross like this, and everybody doing the YMCA shit. You know what I mean? And I got this stupid T-shirt. You know what I mean? That type of shit. Like is it a fucking Mary had a little lamb type of shit, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she got real mad at me, like to the point where she was upset, she was crying, And I said, Mom, I go, Mom, listen, if you're a firm believer in all of this stuff that you're telling me right now, if God made me who I am, then He already knows I'm a clown, right? I'm a clown. He knows I'm a clown. Be a good Christian and forgive me, right?
Be yourself.
Forgive me. That's all I said to her. Like, forgive me. if he can forgive a murderer, right? He could forgive a guy who's making silly jokes, right? He knows that I love my parents. I respect my mother, my elders. I do what I was told as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? But you're going to get upset with me and you know, cry and tell me that I'm being blasphemous and all this shit. You know what I mean? It's like I tell her, and this is where I've gone with it too, you know, because exactly what you explained as far as going down that road and dabbling and checking and researching and feeling it all out and finding what's right for me. That's all I said to my mom was like, it gives you strength. And I appreciate that strength as long as you don't try to push it on me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because that's just being Native American for me and Hispanic, right? And German, you know what I mean? Like I'm all over the fucking place, right? But the natives and the Mexicans and you know what I mean?
Same
and
thing,
the and the pagans in Vikings and you know what I mean? These people were forced this shit. They were force fed this Christianity, this
Killed.
God. Yeah, exactly.
Persecuted,
Exactly. And to me, that is that, you know what I mean? Like all these people want to say they want equality with things, but they don't want to look at the true, they want it to be equal for them and for their people and not look back to the shit that they created or the shit that they took from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say white people or black people or native people or it's all across. I mean, Jews and Christians, you know what I mean? Like you look at it all the way across religion in general, man, they're against each other from left to right, man. This is my land. No, it wasn't. This was mine 5 million years ago. You know what I mean? Like it goes back and forth and you're like, what the fuck are you fighting about, man? You're a human. You're still here on this earth. All these other people are already, you know what I'm saying? Like it never made sense to me as far as religion, you know? It gives people strength. If that gives you strength and that's what keeps you going,
follow it. Yeah, absolutely. Just
go for it. But it ain't my thing and don't force it on me, man. I'll listen to you if you want it, you know what I mean? Crazy thing happened to me. I'm full on into my cocaine shit, you know what I mean? Like full on into it, man. And I'm at this festival and I run into this guy and it's like one guy in a sea of fucking sin, you know what I mean? Like everybody's in black. This guy's got, you know, light colors on, and this dude had the bluest eyes I've ever seen in my entire life, right? And he comes up and he's talking that Jesus shit, and everybody's going, man, get the fuck out of here, you know? And I was like, what do you got to say, man? And he's looking at me like, oh, this dude might punch me in the face, you know? And I'm looking at him and I go, no, man, fuck what these dudes are talking about. Come over here, you know? What do you got to say? And it was like, I needed to hear what that dude had to say right at that time. I looked at that dude and I was like, say what you got to say. He handed me this thing. He read me some shit, wanted me to pray with him. I held his hand for a second, and I was like, that's it. You know, it didn't affect me either way. I just gave him his time, and off he went. That was it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Fuck it. Take one for the rest of the heathens around me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck it, you know?
But having that open mind, it plays a big part, man. Because, I mean, there were times where, you know, you had these Bible thumpers come at me, whether if they were Jehovah Witness or anybody, and they're like, "Have you found Jesus?" I'm like, "Why'd you lose him? I haven't found him. Fuck him."
Paul Rodriguez
Yeah.
said that shit was the funniest joke ever that I heard when I was younger. He was like, Mexican dude knocks on the door. He opens the door. He says, Jesus loves you. He goes, which one? The one upstairs? The one down the block? You better not be starting rumors. Oh, I'm fucking dying, dude. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I've had so many people in my life do that, and I constantly get that when just random people come up to me, and they would you know ask me about Jesus and stuff like that. And yes, I have that background. I have that Christian background.
Yeah.
And I completely denounce it. But that's my own thing. And then there was this one time I was standing out in the shop in front, and I was smoking a cigar. I was just done doing a tattoo. And this guy comes out in a fucking it was like a 2000 fucking Suburban. He parks up right in the fucking driveway. And he was like, I drive by all the time and I see you outside. And I felt like, you know, I was told that I had to talk to you, you know,
right.
Jesus said I had to talk to you. And I was like, all right, what does he have to say? And off the bat, I'm not going to be like, oh, get the fuck out of here, you fucking Bible thumping fucking piece of shit, you know?
Right.
I'm like, all right, what's up? And he was like, you know, that, you know, Jesus this, Jesus that, blah, blah, blah. So he was going with the spiel. And, you know, and I was like, okay. And I was like, well, just to let you know, I said, I understand where you're coming from. I grew up with this, and I always say that my father was a pastor, my grandfather was a bishop, my mom was a pastor's daughter, you know. So I come from the cloth, you know. And he was like, "Oh wow," you know, he was taken back by that. So he kept going on and on, and then I was like, "All right, you said your piece. No, hold on, no. But I did it respectfully,
Right.
And everything that he said, and I said, "Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this?" He was like, "Well, yeah," and I was like, "Huh, yeah." I say, you know what? I denounce religion, I denounce Christianity and all that shit, but I am not stupid. I'm very educated in this, and I don't want to disrespect nobody. Just don't disrespect me. But I am going to tell you what I know. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. Books lie, people lie, men lie. You know, people shit that people write are fucking lies just to obtain power,
Right.
and shit. So therefore, I'm like, this is what I heard. This is what I know. Blah blah blah. So I stumped him in like 4 different fucking occasions. He was like, "Oh," and he had no rebuttal. He had nothing to say.
Right.
And I was like, "See." I said, "Aren't we?" And but I told him, I said, "Aren't we human?" I said, "Aren't we here for love and compassion? This is what we live for." He was like, "Oh, absolutely." And I was like, "Well, that's what I do." I said, "Just because I don't follow your God or your word, it doesn't mean I'm a bad person."
Right.
I just don't. I said,
You probably opened his eyes, dude. You probably opened his eyes, to be honest with you. You know?
And I'm pretty sure I did. And I told him straight out, I said, I just don't fucking care what that book says. And I said, to let you know more, I said, I've burned a couple of them too.
Right.
Just because I can't fucking, yeah. And he looked at me like, and I'm like, dude, I'm a human being, regardless if my fucking soul is damned or not. I'm gonna stand for what I believe in, and honestly, nobody's gonna stray me away from that. Because you know what, I do research.
Yeah.
You know, I try to find my own truth in things.
Yeah.
Where do I stand in life? You know, who am I? And I know that religion stuff and all that, I have no place in it. Same thing with the satanics and the evil stuff. And I'm like, fuck that shit too, dude.
Yeah.
You know, even with my native stuff, which is fucking, you know, just natural law and all that. Some of the fucking even politics with all that shit within the tribes and stuff. I'm like, go fuck themselves too, because they're just as bad as the fucking religious people.
Right.
And you know, and I'm just there by myself. Like, oh well, I guess I'm just me. And then my philosophy is what I believe in. And when I tell my clients certain things, and all I really say is just don't forget who you are. Don't forget your journey in this life, regardless of what you believe in, and just be yourself. Love yourself. Show love, and that's it. You can't go wrong. But also remember that there's a paradox. You have to have the yin and the yang. You have to have the dark with the light. Don't fall into one too much.
Yeah.
Because you're throwing yourself off balance. Balance is what we do, and it's hard. And it's honestly, it's a constant fucking juggling act.
That symbol has meant a lot to me growing up as a kid, because if you look at it, you know, it's depending on how it's drawn and how it shifts to one side, meaning which side is more heavy than the other. You know, when a lot of people don't think of it that way, but if it's straight up and down, you know, the balance, and then it shifts to one side or the other. But if people really look at it, you know, there's a white spot, you know, a white part with the black spot in it, right? If you think about good people, about Christians, about people that you would think of being good, you hear about that darkness that's in the middle of that thing. You know what I'm saying? And on the other spectrum of that, you see a dark spot with a light circle in the middle of it, meaning throughout all of that evil or whatever, there's still good behind it. There still is a representation on either side of both of those paradox, you know what I mean? That you can't have one without the other. And I've always believed that in my life for everything, man. If I come out of the gate on a day and act fucked up to people, like put bad vibes out into the world, I feel that days and days and weeks and months afterwards, because I think back to that time. Why is this vibe following me? Why is this shit following me? Why is, like, all of a sudden I'm having this shit happen to me and I'm wondering why? And I think back, man, it's putting that bad shit out into the world, man. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's karmatic. It comes right back to you tenfold, whether it's good or bad. You do good, you do a good service, it comes right back to you. Same thing with the bad. You put bad energy out there, guess what? Reality check motherfuckers coming right for you.
Yep.
Now there's a Native American saying is like, you have 2 wolves inside your heart. You have a black one, which is bad. You have a bad one. Who do you and they're fighting? Who do you think will win? And people always think like, oh my God, I know which one would win. And either shaman or the elder in the tribe says, the one you feed the most.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, whichever one you feed the most, that's what you're gonna get.
Yep.
But don't forget that there's that balance. You have to feed both of them because they both exist.
Yeah.
And they both need to be there.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing when to feed either one.
Yep.
And that makes you a balanced person. And then, of course, you have people like, oh, why would you feel bad? The world is not all good, and it would never be good.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. You're a fucking yoga master. You're a fucking Buddhist and shit like that. Oh, I love and praise. Yeah, there's that too. But guess what? There's evil. Evil lurks all the way around. It's there. It's happened. You know what? It's a part of us. We all have those inner demons.
Right.
Sometimes you got to feed that motherfucker. Sometimes you got to go and do a lot of introspection and be like, I got to beat this demon. I got to see what the fuck he's about so I can, kind of team this motherfucker when I need to.
Right.
The light is always there. Oh, love and, light and this and that. And I'm like, get the fuck yourself, man. It's about, and of course, Phoenix Tattoo and Wellness, we get people that we call the namastes. Everything is just like, oh, love and light.
Right.
I see you and me and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, it's great, but have you met your demon?
Right.
Have you played with him? No. I suggest you go play with him before you come talk to me about this love and light.
Can I use your bathroom quick?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and get the fuck out when you're done. Like some instances of Palo Santo while you're doing it.
Right. Adam says, treat others the way you want to be treated. I won't disrespect you as long as you don't disrespect me.
Yeah, going back to Confucius. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's karmatic, and it's what wolf would you want to feed? If that energy will come back to you no matter what.
Yep.
And I've always believed in that, no matter what religion, no matter what fucking religious sect or belief. And and it's all across the board. It's like, just be a human being. Don't forget to be yourself. Give the love, give the light. When you need to stand for yourself, put that darkness, let that shit come out when you fucking need it. Because some people need to get their ass chewed out or fucking slapped in the fucking face.
Yep. Sometimes that's how they learn.
Exactly. And they, you know what? They're gonna sit there with that fucking nice red fucking mark on their face. Yo, what the fuck did I do wrong? Let them sit there and ponder that shit for a fucking hot minute where they lose a fucking tooth and blood's coming out their mouth. You piece of shit.
I've been there. I've done that.
Exactly.
To people, man.
I know you resonate with it.
Yeah,
Dude. Everything I'm saying, I know that for a fact that you fucking lived it,
Yeah.
But as other people that are listening right now, it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care who the fuck you are. Just treat people like as you want to be treated. You want to be a fucking cunt? Well, guess what? You're going to get that cunt energy back at you. You people love and light, you're going to get that right back, dude.
Yeah.
Always, but you know what? Don't be scared to stand for yourself and open your fucking mouth. Use that throat chakra.
Right.
Whether it's for good or bad, open your fucking mouth. Say something. Hell yeah, exactly. Right there, yo.
Yeah.
Exactly. That blue chakra, bro. Let that shit fucking free. That's what you got it there for. But
I got to get it fixed. I got to get it finished. I got to get that finished. I should come out to you and get it finished.
Hell yeah, I'm down to do it. But make sure, they always remember that whatever you project, your words are energy as well. So what you say, people are going to feel it. And if you have the energy like I do, when I say something, there's a lot behind it. It's a fucking Mack truck and a fucking A1 Abrams ready to fucking blast. And I'm ready to project that shit.
Right.
But it's how you say it.
Yep. You can build it or break it down real quick. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand. I think that's something that goes hand in hand with being a Sagittarius as well too. You know what I mean? You can read folks real well. You can build them up and you can break them down. Like you said, the fire inside of us can ignite other people. And I've expressed this to my daughter many times, being creative. I'm like, people will take your ideas and run with them. It's the ideas that you want to hold on your own and not tell everybody about are the ones that are going to be best for you. You know what I mean? Because but also being an artist, you have to remember that. And throughout history, throughout time, you can create something that's so unique and that's so yours. Guess what? That person's going to copy that shit. That person's going to copy that shit. Yep. And they say it's a form of flattery and all that. It is. You know what? But again, what you create is yours. And you hold on to it, but also give it to people. This is why you make art. This is why the creator or God or that loving energy, the universe gave it to you. It's to create it so people can see and be inspired by it. So don't take offense when you have a nice piece of art. You're like, oh, this is mine. Yeah, cherish it. But guess what? You have that ability. You have that skill to share it with the world. Let people see it. Yeah. And how they interpret it, it's on there, Oh yeah, for sure. But that's where you have it. And that's why us as musicians, we're artists as well. So when we're out there and we're doing something we think that's unique or something, yeah, it's unique. But you know what? Some kid that was at the show is gonna play in his own band. He's like, yo, fucking Greg, he was playing that bass line and holy fuck, dude. Right. And he was like, and he's gonna tell you, he's like, yo, I learned that from you, but I just did my own thing with it. Yep. And that's the best thing too, man. That's the best thing. Left to put the kids to sleep, and y'all still going nice. Oh yeah, Rich Montelingo says he left to go eat. He put the kids to sleep, and now he said we're still going. Yes, but we are we're getting to the end of it. I know that we're like 2.5 hours in, and I hate cutting off conversations when it comes to doing the podcast, but I don't want to keep it going because honestly, this gives us a big chunk of setting, foundation for what's to come. Because honestly, man, I had a fantastic time doing this and putting people out, putting this energy out to people, man, and just laying it down on people is really important to me, man. And I appreciate you coming on here and doing that and spreading the love, dude. And here's the thing: is we can do this at any time. You know what I'm saying? We can meet, we could come together and do this again, and I would love to, dude.
Anytime you let me know when, and I'll jump back on it. We can take off from exactly where we left off.
Hell yeah, dude!
Just like in person.
Hell yeah! And don't forget, how can people get a hold of you, Dan? Like booking tattoos. How can they get a hold of you? When do you release your content? How do you put your stuff out there?
I honestly don't put too much content out there as I should, being in the fields that I am as a photographer and as a tattooer. I have a regular personal Instagram. It's just Dan Extreme, just the way it's spelled. I have my photography, which is I don't even know, but they have both handles are in my personal Instagram.
Yeah,
I have both of them there. And then when you go to those, I will have my Facebook handle in there as well. So you can follow me on Facebook.
So they're all linked together.
They're all linked. No matter what, they're all linked. You can find me, like I said, it's DANXTREME and on Instagram. And then you can follow my photography, and you can follow my tattoo page. And then they're linked to my Facebook, because I have a photography Facebook and I have a tattoo Facebook, and obviously my personal one. By all means, add me. Send me a message, whatever. I won't get back to you because I won't fucking care, but if I do, there you go. But I just try to limit myself with social media. It's
you have to these days, dude. You have to.
Exactly. If I wasn't in the industry that I am in now, believe me, I wouldn't even have social media. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I feel the same way, man. Here's the thing, like with the whole political environment that happened in the last fucking few years, I don't like to side or talk about the shit, religion. A lot of times I won't get involved in it because a lot of people take offense to it and they think you're, one way or the other. I don't give a fuck, whatever. With social media, the reason I do it is because of the podcast and to keep in touch with people that I don't get to see on a regular basis. Shannon Keith, Craig Rose, and I see at work, but they're the people throughout this through the whole chat. Keeping in touch with these folks and having a good interaction with them and turning them on to music. Things that you enjoy, man. And by all means, man, hit Danny up. He's good people. And I'm happy to introduce other people to good people too, man. So Absolutely. It means a lot for you to come on here. I was like, I don't have a guest this week. And it was like, I asked people, but I didn't say this Friday. I was like, I didn't tell anybody this Friday except for you. I was like, if he says yes, he's available, it's fucking on. Which sucks because we could have stretched it out a little bit longer. And like I said, dude, you set the bar by coming on the show and doing your own fucking video to promote it. And I appreciate it a fuckload, man. I really do.
I have to fucking support my people, man. You know what? You're my clan, you're my brother. And I will support you endlessly, dude. I mean, I know you guys, you see my tattoo stuff, you'll post it. Oh shit, Dan did, good. I mean, it's just out of respect, and admiration for one another. And me being a creative, I was like, I have to put a video up there. Yeah. But people got to understand that they see Greg's fucking personality. Now they're going to see mine in this little short promo. Yeah. And they're like, oh shit, this fucking show is going to be fucking bananas, dude. It's going to be fun. And dude, every time I do a podcast or anything like that, or talk to people, I want to have good, interesting conversation. Let's not talk about the mundane shit. COVID-19, fuck you, COVID. Yeah. Political shit, fuck political shit, dude.
Right.
Let's talk about the shit that makes us fucking breathe, that makes us fucking, that makes us fucking yearn for life.
Hell yeah.
And that makes us glow. That's the shit that I want to talk about. There's negativity all over the fucking world. People are dying from this shit. People are suffering from this shit. Yeah, you know what? Let's do something positive and let's talk about something unique. And that unique is you and who you are. That's what I want to fucking know about. That's what I do with my clients.
Yeah.
I want to know who they are. I want to know who they are as a sentient being.
That's why I did this tonight, man. Is because I feel the same way about you, brother. I just want people to see what I see and what I know. You know what I mean? Because we're states apart. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But good people coming into good people and introducing good people to other good people, and having people from our club come in the chat room and say hello, and clients of yours, and past people that you've worked with, and this is fantastic, and I just really appreciate you coming on, dude, and we're definitely going to do this again soon.
No, this is part one, motherfuckers. Yeah. Remember, this is just part one. Absolutely. This will be part one of like 1,000. So if you guys want this to happen again, all you got to do is let fucking Greg know, and fucking please, by all means, share his fucking links.
Yeah.
Share all his fucking links. Like, oh shit, Dan's on again.
Yep.
Oh my God, what's gonna go down.
Oh yeah.
And let's do it again. I have I have time because of COVID. Yeah. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to talk bullshit, and I implore you, motherfuckers, not only to share Greg's stuff, Ritual Madness podcast and all that, but also, when you come into the chat, ask questions. We want this. We want to hear. We want to. Adam, thank you so much. I don't know you from fucking shit in the wall, but thank you so much for coming in and asking these fucking questions. I'm an open book. You want to know something? I'll answer your questions as I did. We need more people like that.
Yeah.
To make these podcasts interesting, because me and you, we'll talk about shit and be in our own little world.
Yeah.
And then, there's actually people here.
We could have totally went out. I think we did a couple times. Just went out. I was like, we're just going. Fucking Craig Rosen, the guy that I work with, Craig Rosen's beard says thumbs up and heavy metal signs all over the place. So,
yeah, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for coming on. I am gonna do this little intro out thing, and then we'll talk afterwards. All right, brother?
Before you go, Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much, brother. I love you so much. Thank you and the honor to having me on your podcast, and for everybody, all your friends, everybody out there in Minnesota, the 5-state region, to tune in and say hi, and of course, all my peoples here in Rhode Island and everywhere else. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing love and asking those questions. I love you all, and thank you for supporting this and being a part of this connection tonight.
Thanks, brother.
No problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in this evening. Do me a favor. Check out Anti-Broadcasting Incorporated, custom screen printing, antibroadcasting@gmail.com. They've done shirts for people all over the nation, all kinds of touring bands, all kinds of local bands, all kinds of artists, all kinds of tattoo shops. They fucking do it all. Antibroadcasting@gmail. Hit them up for a quote, 612-836-9488. I pump the shit out of these guys every single podcast because these guys have done a solid for me with my tie-dyeing stuff, and all of the bands that I've gotten shirts from with the Necroma stuff. I mean, even back in the day with the Sublevel stuff and Outside the Murder, I went all to Ben and Chris for Anti-Broadcasting. So please show them some love, man, and definitely hit them up. If you're looking to get some tattoo work here in the Twin Cities, Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, hit Jason up. Jason Del Castillo's my boy. Fucking fantastic guy. He's got some really, really good artists over there, and they're growing. They're getting bigger. They're getting better. There's a lot of great people over there. And in the essence of Dan and I in this podcast, Jason and all his people over there are the same way, man. They're really good, down-to-earth people that will have good conversations with you. They'll work you through all the stuff that you need to get taken care of. That's Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective, 612-353-4755. That's 612-353-4755. lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Hit those guys up. Tell them I sent you. Like I said, they'll probably charge you more, so maybe you don't want to tell them that. But they'll take care of you, I promise. For all of you people that are podcast fans, next week I'm going to have Brad Grimm from Volcano Diving here in the studio. I haven't had a chance to have him on the podcast. I've tried to get this thing set up for quite some time with COVID. I had to clean the whole calendar of everything, and I've been doing stuff over Zoom and have been doing a couple in studio things. It's a small spot. I just moved into this place. I love this little spot. So I want to make sure nobody gets sick. I don't get sick. Everything's all good. Thank you very much for tuning in. Ritual Madness Podcast. Hit ritualmadnesspodcast.com. All the past episodes, 224 of them up right now. A lot of audio so much video. New stuff is more video on YouTube. Make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm okay on Twitter. I'm there. The presence is there. Periscope. I mean, fuck. Stitcher, iTunes. I hate radio. iHeart Radio. I mean, everything. I want you guys to have a good evening. Have a good weekend. You'll catch up with me on Friday. Dan, you want to say goodbye?
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, Ritual Madness Podcast, motherfuckers. In that tattoo shop, they said, please get some fucking ink, man. Support your local tattoo shops.
Thank you, brother.
Have a good night.
Yep. Peace out.
Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness Podcast. Ritual Madness.